I mean, I started a group palaver or something like that. We might do this on group palaver part 2, and then.
What the fuck did you say?
Group palaver.
Oh, I thought you said Greek pavlova. What the fuck does that even mean?
Okay. So we've got Georgia here today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I've been here for hours. Well, I'm good.
That set was long. I'm not gonna lie. That was at one point it was a case of Jesus Christ, but I feel like I've gone too far to turn back. So it's a case of.
Sorry, I missed the whole beginning bit, mate.
All in. Go fuck yourself.
What are you talking about, mate?
The setup of this.
Oh, this whole thing, yeah, man. We just sacked this off 45 minutes ago. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm weary.
That's all right.
So I feel like, yeah, this is commitment and a half. This.
I feel it's genuine though. I feel like if we had rearranged it, then it would be a bit forced, if that makes sense.
If we rearranged what?
To do this. Where are you?
I told you I'm tired.
Are you alright, mate?
I am tired. What do you mean by rearrange? What?
I was saying if
rearrange our living room.
No, this is spontaneous.
Exactly, yeah. So if
spontaneous,
yeah. Not rearranging furniture.
If we had said,
right.
yeah, if we arranged the date,
mean.
I swear to God.
I'm with you.
I swear to God.
You just go to bed if you want.
Honestly. Yeah, you need to calm down. Because I'm getting tired. I'll get ratty. I'm close enough. I can attack this close. Okay, we digress.
No, but yeah, I wanted to get you on because as far as sort of people sort of growing and sort of becoming better versions of themselves, you're probably one of the few people that I've come across that have actually been able to do that without having some like I always find that when people like people I've gone to school with that change in something else, like their identity usually gets taken over by some other thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's maybe they've gone to the army and now all of a sudden they're disciplined and all that, but everything about them is do you know what I mean?
Army, yeah.
Or they're gonna got like a bit fitter, and then everything's about like when you try to speak to them about anything else, they just revert back to that one thing. But it seems like you're still sort of you've grown and become a better version of yourself, but you're still. I thought you let one then. I swear to God.
It's my foot. It's my foot. Look, I can do it on tap.
Yeah, I don't want this.
It's my foot.
Please don't. Yeah.
Definitely, if I'm doing it like this, it's not.
I thought you were trying to explain way too much that you probably did. If I smell something,
darling.
If I smell something,
darling.
If
you keep with this. If you keep with this,
gone.
I will shut this whole shop up, mate, and you're going to be left on your own because I'll take my bitch with me. So what you need to do is you need to calm yourself, relax your energy, because it's wearing thin. All right, so
married life.
Yeah, good times.
But yeah, no, like so like there's no gimmick to you. Sort of, you've generally just sort of gone on a journey, and you've kind of like it's somewhat of a spiritual one. Mm-hmm. So it was more like one. I wanted to ask you sort of, do you feel that growth? Do you see like when you look back at your like let's say 20-year-old self or 90-year-old self, do you see a distinct difference, or is it a case of do you know what I mean?
I see a difference from a 10-year difference. Yeah. Me to last year, not so much, but other people can.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Not as much as a 10-year gap, obviously. Yeah. But if I think of myself as 20, 21 years old, I mean, I met you 10 years ago. So you saw that version of me. And I think you and probably one other person, apart from my family, have been the people to see me. Yeah. In that version and this version. You've been on my growth journey with me.
Yeah.
And you've been my biggest cheerleader. You always are.
Cool.
So, I mean, myself, emotionally, when I was 20 years old, I was a very angry, bitter, anxious person. Yeah. I still get anxiety, but it's a normal, if something happens, which is a normal human emotion to have, but back then, and I think mine all stemmed from grief. Mine was definitely
your granddad, wasn't it?
My nan.
Yeah, it was your nan. That was it.
Yeah, my nan died, and I was really close to my nan. And it didn't hit me straight away. It was sort of a few months after, but it was like a brick wall smashed into my face.
Right.
And I didn't know what was going on. I was so anxious. I was upset all the time, being sick. Like physically.
Yeah, physically sick. I remember
it was awful. And I just went into this, I don't even want to call it a spiral. It was just this mood that I couldn't explain, never felt it before in my life, you know.
And you was really you had a real fear of death.
Yeah, I was fearful about a lot of stuff as well. And then as time progressed, I understood it to be depression, anxiety.
Yeah.
Grief related. And then it was just a really weird, horrible time. And I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone about it because I couldn't explain what was going on.
Yeah.
I remember trying to tell you, and you was like, "Just tell me what's wrong." And I'm like, I don't know. I can't. These feelings inside. It was just like every second I was awake was like impending doom, like something bad was going to happen. It was awful, and it was.
How long did that last?
Months and months.
And that was straight intensity. After.
Well,
Nan.
Yeah, a few months after, but it was like a brick wall at that point.
Because I think, did I meet you like a couple of months before that even happened then?
You must have done,
Yeah, I don't think it was long.
No, it wasn't long. I think I met you probably 6 months after.
Yeah, it wasn't
6 months before.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and then you obviously saw that dip. And it wasn't even a dip. It was just a full-on plummet.
It was
and
really
it was horrific,
tough.
and I was on antidepressants, counselling.
Oh yeah, because I remember us having a conversation about that, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I think that you should do that. Like, that's really scary." And
I used to pay for hypnotherapy privately, weekly. I was shelling out 50, 60 quid. This was 10 years ago as well, and I was young.
Yeah,
you know, I was 18 at the time, I think, when it happened.
Do you feel like you can, like, in terms of what, at the point where you was able to sort of, I guess, when you sort of transition out of that period? Can you remember like certain moments when that happened, or did you just one day you was like, I'm a bit better now, or was there like a significant thing that happened?
Yeah,
that then made
I would say so. It wasn't like a significant moment, but in hindsight, I think I can see my growth in hindsight more than when it's happening.
I was gonna say
So that sort of depressive period lasted a good 2 years. It was awful. And then after that, I think I channeled it into anger.
Right.
And anxiety on a different level. I got diagnosed with generalised anxiety disorder. I was just a mess. I was horrible. I was a real horrible person. Like nasty.
I didn't necessarily see that so much, but...
Manipulative. Yeah, but I liked you. But to people that I didn't really give a shit about, I was really quick to anger.
Yeah.
Like, 0 to 100 real quick. And there just come a point where I knew I was being a problem, and I was just embracing it.
Right, that's what you mean. Yeah.
So at that point, and I'm not afraid to say it, I was enjoying being that person.
Well, I think that's I was gonna say. I think if you are, I think there is an element. I think if especially if you're like when something like traumatic happens or something bad happens. I think there's an element when if you do get to that point where you're like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna sort of give into it or indulge in it. You kind of, there is an element that you kind of don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to get sort of. I see.
Sometimes though, I think sometimes it's just really hard to face.
Yeah.
I
was in full victim mode, and now that I've gone on my journey and whatever, I know when I'm in victim mode, and I can choose to stay in it. Or I can choose to come out of it. 9 times out of 10, I come out of it because I don't want to be a victim. But at that point, there were certain times where I knew I was being manipulative, and I knew that I was manipulating a situation for it to work in my favour because I wanted control. Yeah. I felt like I didn't have any control over my life, over my emotions, over my feelings, anything. So anything I could get control of, I would.
Yeah.
And that was by being manipulative, horrible, angry. And then it come to pregnancy.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time when I was in hospital, I was 7 months pregnant, and I was laying in that bed by myself. And I was thinking to myself, I can't be a mum. And, you know, it was too late by that point. I was 7 months pregnant. I was going to be a mum whether I liked it or not.
Yeah.
And I was saying to the midwife, I don't want this baby. I don't want this baby. Obviously, love him to bits now. He's changed my entire world. But at that point, I was like, I either need to sort my life out, or I'm just going to keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
So I think that was the point where I was like, I need help.
Yeah.
I need help now. Like, all this other stuff was a bit, okay, I'll do hypnotherapy, but I'm not going to put my full effort into it.
Yeah, so
I'm just going to tell people, I'm doing hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
I never connected with hypnotherapy anyway. I knew it wasn't working, but I just did it because, I'm doing hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
I am doing counselling and I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it out of my own money. It sort of gave me a little bit of a kick for people to be like, oh, are you? Why are you doing that then?
Yeah.
So then I could tell them my story, like, I feel sorry for me.
Wow. So you can see all of that now.
I can see that. I'm very self-aware now. And sometimes it's a blessing and it's a curse.
I was going to say, 'cause I think it is that thing, isn't it? It is a case of, I think, having that self-awareness. I think this is where most people a lot of people do sort of struggle with, where if they're going for a situation and they're kind of, I guess they are kind of indulging in it. I think it's one thing if you do generally, you do have that self-awareness and you're like, no, I'm doing this to myself, and all power to you. But I think for the unfortunate people that don't have that self-awareness and they generally can't see that they're kind of fueling this very thing that they don't want. I think that is, but again, I can imagine, as you said, it's a gift and a curse, because I think it is difficult to really look at a negative situation that you don't want to be in and then be like, I'm causing this.
Yeah, I find a lot of people that I come across, obviously you don't ever want to be the problem. Like, deep down, you don't ever want to be the problem. Whereas I can say, I used to want to be the problem because it was drama.
Yeah.
And I thrived off drama. My drama, anyone else's drama, I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I love hearing about people's drama now, but I don't involve myself in it.
Exactly, yeah.
It's different. Yeah. And I wouldn't ever fuel that drama for someone else either.
Yeah. But it's like we were saying earlier on the walk, we were saying that there's an element like that. I think that's in all of us. That's why we like, we like dramatic films, dramatic shows. I think we all kind of like, we drama's entertaining, isn't it? And I said, if you watch the show where everything went fine all the time, you probably won't watch it, it would be boring. Yeah. But there is that element of something in us that has that enjoys drama. It's about just sort of
it's like when we've said before, like if somebody says something that's like really bad that's happening to them, you have more of a conversation around it, and you're like, really, oh my gosh, and it lasts so much longer than if somebody went, actually fine.
Oh yeah, exactly,
and that's really sad.
I found having a peaceful contentment about my life is one, can be really lonely.
Yes, yeah.
And two, to other people can be really boring.
What's the thing is that there's, I think I heard a quote in a book.
That boringness anyway, mate.
I heard a quote in a book. It says something like there's like it says something. There's something in suffering. There's something about togetherness in suffering.
So trauma bond.
Yeah, like you can all like nobody bonds over
being happy.
Yeah, no one's like, are you happy? I'm happy. Oh, just no one does that, and you're right.
Sad,
it is lonely.
That's really sad.
Well, if you look at some relationships, there's always got to be a sense of spice, and previous relationships I've been with, they've been toxic because I've been a toxic person. Again, I'm more than happy to admit that, because we've all been them toxic people in our lives.
Yeah.
With different people, I've treated them real bad, and I've felt a type of way about that ever since.
Yeah.
But it used to bring the drama. It used to bring the arguments, and then the makeup, and then and then it will be a cycle again and whatever. Now I look at myself and I'm straight up with people from the beginning. I'm boring. If you want that, I'm not going to give you it. I will. If we argue, we sort it out there and then move past it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to revert back into the toxic back and forward.
Yeah.
Or the arguing or the screaming in your face and physical stuff. I'm not doing it. That's not me anymore. And even if I wanted to be that person, I don't think my soul wouldn't allow it.
I was going to say, exactly.
Because I've done so much work.
Yeah, why would you want to go back to?
Yeah, it's exhausting as well.
Yeah.
Well, it is exhausting,
this constant sort of, you never stop healing. It's a constant thing. And I'm not saying like, oh, look at me, I'm God complex, or I'm such a healed person, because I'm not. There are some traits that still rear their head. You know, I am quick to frustrate and I'm quick to be annoyed, but it's never anger.
Yeah.
Whereas before was pure anger.
Yeah.
Anything would set me off. Anything would...
And did you get to the root cause of that then?
Yeah. Yeah. It was... I'm not going to go into it now, but...
That's fine, yeah.
That took a lot as well, because I was a part of that problem. And I never wanted to admit that. And I never really realised until a counsellor said to me, straight up to my face, so you've caused the problems then? And again, I was quick to... He was like, whoa.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then in that moment, so when... Yeah, Phil, when you said, was there a moment? That was my anger moment of, fuck.
Right.
Yeah.
This anger is actually me. There's no one else can make you feel a type of way.
Yeah.
You feel that type of way.
Yeah.
They can't make you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, you could say something that could potentially annoy me.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to be annoyed.
You get to choose whether or not you're going to,
Or I'm in the wrong chat. That's all I know. I'm at the wrong table, people. I'm at the wrong table with you two. God damn.
I think that's the thing. I think because we had this conversation before, and like a lot of times like we'll be in arguments, and then Laura would say something like, "You make me feel like such and such," and I think of course, what it means is you're the cause as to why I feel this way. But when you're, of course, in terms of, of course, what you're saying is that you ultimately have a choice in how you respond to what someone says to you. Yeah. They could be the cause of it, but they can't.
So what I'm doing, what's happening here, is I'm sat around the table with really emotionally intelligent people, and I ain't there yet.
I'm not saying
I am not there yet, guys.
Like I think a lot of my life now, and again, this is through, you know, spiritual stuff, counselling, whatever. I try and do everything with intention. So if I was to sit here across from you and insult you, that would be my intention, to hurt your feelings. So yes, I would make you feel that way, because why wouldn't you then feel a type of way about what I've said? Yeah. If I said, oh, Laura, I preferred it when you had the wall a different colour. That's not me intentionally trying to say your house is shit. Yeah. That's me offering my opinion. Yeah. And then it's up to you whether she thinks my fucking house is shit, or, oh, actually, that's just her opinion. Yeah. I think, again, what I've learned, and I learned this a lot with anger, is when someone says something to me that I don't like, is that step back and, right, take a minute to process what's have they meant that in a way to intentionally make me feel a type of way, or am I not seeing it from a perspective?
You know, with me, I'm with me, I'm an
you could do a whole podcast on you, man. A whole show.
I'm an all or nothing
2-day show.
I'm an all or nothing kind of person. I think even if someone sat across the table from me and said, "You fucking big lip dreadlock," ugly, whatever you call it, and they're pointing out all my physical flaws that you can see, and this, that, and the other. I think even then, I've got an element to. I have a choice in regards to how I'm going to react to that, because it's what, because and I've always said it's one of the two things. See,
this is what I think is the problem though with you, darling. Is you say you have a choice and you still choose to go down a road.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the reason why I say that is because it's important. I remember, and again, I'm not saying that I'm always going to be like to choose. I'm going to be in the correct state of mind to choose the right option and to not react. I'm not saying that people shouldn't react, but I think it is important to sort of take responsibility for the way you decide, the way you do react to something, because it's like one of two things. Either what they're saying is true. I do have dreadlocks. My lips I guess you could say they're a bit big, whatever. And this and the other, whatever they say. Or what they're saying, and at which point I'd be like, totally agree, thanks for noticing. Or what they're saying isn't true, and there's no need for me to react to it because at this point, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a case of, again, I'm not saying that you should never no one's ever going to react. No, absolutely. But I think it's important that you kind of, you have an awareness of that you have a choice. But I think the moment you say to yourself, I don't have a choice. And the thing is, I've said this before, like, one of my little toxic traits is that I'm always ready for the worst case scenario.
Oh, he's up for a fight every single damn day of his life. He's ready.
No, it's not that.
No, you are. It's not that. Honestly, your face, everything about you, like even on a school run, mate, I'm like, this guy, man, people are going to be thinking this.
No, it's not that I'm always up for a fight, but it's a case of should it go to the worst case scenario, I'm more or less always kind of.
You're always ready to win, mate. No one loses.
It's never
you never lose.
No, because sometimes I even play a situation out in my head, and it goes left. But for me, like, but again, I make a point of, if I'm going to say this thing, and it's then going to lead to such and such a thing later down the line, I have to understand and be aware that it started from that one decision. Mm-hmm. But the moment I say to myself, I didn't have a choice, then I think that way, there's not going to be no control from then on. Because if I said to myself, I didn't have a choice because they made me react that way, then at that point I feel like there's no telling as to where the situation can go to. But if I'm aware that, I've decided to react to this extent to this situation, as it goes down the line, I'm aware that I can still not necessarily I can salvage it, but I can stop when I like. But I feel like if you say to yourself,
I just think
that I'm not control, then
I'm not sitting here like, oh, look at me, I'm a saint. I never get angry. Very, very rarely will I feel anger these days, because I find it more of a frustration and an annoyance rather than pure anger. And again, that's only because I know where I can go when I get to anger.
See, I don't know if I've ever got to that kind of stage, I suppose.
I think
I get frustrated, but I don't know if I don't know. You tell me.
When I
have
feel
I ever seen
anger,
real rage,
I feel
like
it
that
physically, like in my chest is burning. And
I think the only thing I could relate to that is probably when I was in school and I'd cry. You get so angry that you'd cry.
Yeah.
I don't think I've had that as an adult.
Oh yeah.
I've
with that.
I've wanted to punch you.
Yeah, you
square in the face.
You have a dormant anger problem that manifests itself in our daughter. that's what you have, and I think if I was more of an erratic person, that version of you would come out a lot. Like, it would just jump out.
What you're saying, our daughter is what?
She's an angry person because you're an angry person.
Oh,
like if they
honey.
If you said
absolutely
not. How many times have I said kids or that?
Yeah, you just goad me into situations. You're just goading me. You're
an attacker.
Oh, I'm an attacker. But that doesn't mean I'm an angry person, because of the fact that my attacks to you are minimal, mate.
Yours is dormant.
If I wanted to go hard, mate, you'd know about it. I do minimal attacks. Yeah, they're tiny. But, darling, let's just touch on this. Okay, you cannot chuck something like that.
Do you want me to mediate?
Yeah. Listen to me here. Like, are you joking? Our daughter is angry because of me. Honey.
No. Okay, not because of you, but
she's up for a fight.
But she's got that.
Nah, she's up for a fight because no. You are deluded, darling. Come on now, that's silly. You want to just put this on tape? That's fine. But look, we all know the truth. Georgia knows the truth. We know the truth. People don't know we know the truth.
Don't involve me in this.
You literally.
I'm the mediator.
Honey. You're the ex-angry person. I'm going to tag you in when I need you. Like, don't come at me with this. I'm the mediator. And then I'm going to tag you in when necessary, and you're going to help me
to regress.
Yeah,
that's going to be funny. Yeah,
right now to take this guy's head.
Funny, yeah. When Eden's older and she's at a point where, like,
no, but darling, we cannot just brush over this. Okay, you can get to your point in a minute. You need to rectify. You're wrong right now.
I'm not saying that you make me angry, but I'm saying as far as passing down traits, that's come from me.
Do you know what you are, darling? What we'll say, we'll leave it at this: you're in denial. So you are. You're in denial. But it's okay. We'll leave it at you're in denial, and we'll come back to this in a couple of years' time when she's in therapy.
I want to ask you this: when you did make that sort of, make that growth of, and you had the self-awareness of, okay, there's an element I'm sort of kind of causing my own problems here. Like at that time, the sort of the the friends or whoever it is, you not necessarily family, because you can't pick them, but the friends you had around you.
Yeah.
Did you find, was there like was there an element like did they kind of notice the different Georgia in the sense of were they also they also share the same traits?
You had the friends that would have,
and again, that I think that's another part of my journey was, and you know, the program that I do, which is like this spiritual empowerment program, which has helped me along my growth journey. Every single first weekend, because it goes in like year cycles.
Right,
and I've done it for 4 years now. Every single first weekend is be prepared to lose people, or be prepared to shed people, because you will start to grow so much that you will start noticing things that you will not put up with anymore. And or you will just outgrow people, and that's okay, or they will change, but it's not necessarily a bad change, but you just don't connect. And I think when I was going through like that depressive stage, I mean, Laura was a really good friend, even though we'd only known each other months. But we sort of gelled straight away. Whereas the friends that I'd had from school, and it was a bit like fractured, and because of the age that we were, like 17, 18, 19, they just wanted to go out and get drunk. They were sort of party friends.
Older than you as well, aren't they? Yeah.
They were sort of like the party friends, and like, nothing wrong with that, obviously. But now that I look back, I didn't really have, and I never really have had loads of friends because, and I'm going to bring star signs into it, I'm a Taurus. So I'm very loyal, but I'm very keep my circle small. Because I can't be asked. Basically, that's the long and short of it. I cannot be asked with loads of people. I can spot fake from a mile off, and I always have done. But that used to excite me, because I used to be like, right, I'm going to goad this fakeness out of people and then expose them, and then like make them out to be a bad person.
But how did we become friends?
Well, I'm scared of you.
Total opposite to that. Oh my goodness!
I know,
that's an utter stress. You're right there, mate. That's a stress, mate.
But I don't know, but me and you, we've always said we're soulmates. Because we just connected straight away. You would not be my normal cup of tea.
No.
But you are. You're like my champagne.
Yeah.
You're the best. I love you to bits.
I love you.
But normally my friends, you're the only friend that I'm not horrible to. Like in a sense of jokey. Me and you are very soft towards each other. I'm the softest with you.
Yeah, because I'm a
whereas my friends, like, you know, my other friends, Jamie, Rachel, whatever. We're fucking horrible to each other, but that's our love language to each other.
Yeah, my love language is no.
And I don't know why it works, but it does.
Yeah, but I think really actually, because I think from the beginning, I was quite honest with you. I was quite brutal with you from the beginning, I think, to express some of these things. This is not okay.
But I've always appreciated that about you, and I've always appreciated people who are genuine, honest, even when I don't want to hear it. And that's one thing I really, really struggle with, is people being disingenuous. I cannot. I get why people are disingenuous, because it serves them a purpose. But at the same time, I cannot comprehend it to save my life.
Yes, but I don't understand.
I'm straight up from the beginning. Like, this is who I am. I'm blunt as fuck. I'm direct as fuck. But I mean it with love. And I've always been like that. Don't try and change me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's a friend, relationship, whatever. I am who I am. And I can be, you know, quite harsh sometimes with my advice, but it's done with love. So if you can't take that, please don't.
But I think anything, like, I think genuine relationships, you have to have that. If you don't have that, I just think, what's the point in it? Because if you're just going to fill somebody with a load of things that they want to hear, they're never going to grow. They're never going to get any.
As well. And again, I don't know if it's because I'm a Taurus and Earth sign, whatever. I feel like consistency for me is
huge.
My stability.
And
huge. So consistency, genuineness, and just being, you know, that in a package for me is my perfect person. Doesn't matter if you're, I don't know, we could be completely different personalities, but that consistency, I need to know someone's genuine.
Yeah.
And as soon as I see signs of change, energy off, whatever, I'm like, right, I'm taking this personally.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Like, what has changed? Do you not like me anymore?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't mean that's what's happening, but at the same time, this is not consistent.
Yeah, exactly.
My security is now like...
I find that stressful.
Gone.
Yeah.
And that is something that I need to work on. That's something, to me, that has not fully healed, because everything that people... Like, sometimes I just can't detach myself from taking it personally when I know it's nothing to do with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like I said, this healing journey is constant.
Oh, I don't think it ever stops.
And it doesn't stop.
It never stops.
And, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, look at me, saint, I'm a healer.
No, but I think that, I think credit where credit's due, when somebody's come a long way and they've changed dramatically for the better, is commendable, because I think a lot of people look at growth and, well, they don't even look at it. They're just like, oh, I ain't gonna cross that one, because it's scary and it's unnerving.
Yeah, I do feel, and it is scary, to
it
face
really
your own
scary.
bullshit.
Yeah.
And to think, actually, I'm the fucking problem.
Yeah.
And I'm the biggest fucking problem there is, like, to myself.
Yeah.
Or I was. And shifting that blame from other people to yourself and taking it all on is like, fuck.
Oh, it's massive, because I think I used to always project my emotions. Used to project my emotions, and it's, since being with somebody like you that doesn't allow projection of emotions, I had to really check that behaviour. But yeah, it's only then that you then look at it and you're like, oh, okay, actually I see it.
Yeah.
And then you start to learn, and then if you do make mistakes, to then rectify and be like, actually, I'm really sorry, I've not
I get checked
the best.
regularly on texting. I'm awful. One-word texts, or, I'm quite blunt over text because I just can't be asked.
Yeah.
And I regularly get checked of, how did you mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Actually, I didn't mean it in that way.
See, it's funny though, because I think our relation, I don't know whether it is because I am the way that I am, but I've never experienced that with you. So I always experience quite a lot from you.
You send me podcasts, like 15-minute voice notes, so there is no confusion there.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I think the
longest... you don't send them.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Not
sometimes.
Podcasts like you do. That. I think the longest one she sent me is like 25 minutes long.
Oh yeah, I sent a long one once.
Yeah.
You aren't far behind me, but you sent me about a 12-minute one once before. 12 minutes. 12 minutes. 12 minutes for the average Joe. It's a long time, mate. Okay. 25 minutes for somebody like me.
Just call each other to be like.
Well, yeah, but sometimes it's not possible.
No. Yeah. Oh, this is how I roll. Anybody that knows me, I'm a nightmare for it, man. I'll send this. I'm not a texter.
I genuinely don't. I can't fathom how me and you are friends. As close as we are. Like, I love you to bits. You're one of my best friends. But I don't get how we gel so well, because we are so different.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I don't even know how we lasted 12 years, son. Because realistically, I
am the Phil.
You are the Phil. In terms of my friends, you are the Phil.
But I think it's that thing of being genuine with one another. I think if you could there's
I'll never fake anything.
Even with me and my friends, there's elements that we're all very different, but I think the one thing we have all in common is that we're genuine towards one another. Everyone knows.
I think you've hit the nail on the head there.
So
you've always been from the get-go genuine.
I told you straight from the beginning some of your choices and been like, that's not a good choice.
So love that bitch.
Yeah, don't be that girl.
But I think if you can sort of, because I think if it's one thing if you act like me, but you're not that way inclined at all. I think there's an element. There's like I don't know, that kind of thing where you kind of just pretend to sort of go along to get along. It doesn't really serve anybody.
No.
Aside from
I'm just really bad at faking anything.
Yeah.
And I think as well, because again, the few really good friends that I have, it's never, I feel like they all bring something to my table.
Yeah.
And they're different things, but I also bring stuff to their table.
Yeah.
And it's a very
mutual.
You don't do stuff for your friends to receive it back, obviously.
No.
But it's
but that's what you need. Reality is,
I don't feel like it's a transactional thing. It's a very, I'll do this for you because I genuinely do love you with my heart.
Because that person wants to do that. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what being it is.
If I rang you at 3:00 in the morning and was like, I'm desperate.
100%.
I wouldn't even need to tell you what it was. You'd be like, let me sort it, I'll be there.
Oh God, yeah.
And it's vice versa.
100%.
Whereas there's not a lot, I think a lot of people, they have these, not fake friendships, but friendships that aren't deep. They're quite shallow.
They're just kind of surface
level.
And it's conditional to them.
Conditional, transactional. They, hand on their heart, they probably couldn't say that about a lot of their friends. And that's why I keep my circle small.
And I think when we was even talking about the conditional relationships, like when I really think about, I feel really blessed that I do have actual genuine relationships, because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't have that. And I don't know what my life would be like without it, because you need it. Like, goodness me, I just can't be dealing without any of that.
And again, it's that thing about, I don't think, again, if you are that way inclined, where you kind of, for the most part, you're genuine, it seems like an obvious way to be. But I think the more like I've spoken to people, you find that actually most of the time, most people are not like, they actually don't have genuine relationships with their acquaintances or friends, because I always find that. But I think to
get to that genuine bit though, you have to go on your own journey of growth, really, because if you think of like, families genuine from the get-go? Probably not.
What's the thing?
There's a lot of things that are shadowed over, trying to protect, certain people and things. So you grow up in that, not badly. It's just, that's just how it is. And I think parents, you protect and all of that kind of stuff. And then I think that then there does become that thing. I'm going to do it again, or I forgot my point. I'm so going to do it again. You crack on, mate. Okay, I interrupted you. That was my karma. I shouldn't have interrupted.
But no, you do have a point, because
hush up.
You have a point, because what I was going to say, when you were saying like, families and parents do that, because I think there's an element they do. Like, when you do hear, if you hear someone say, so if someone says, "Oh, what do you think of my such and such?" and someone says a negative response is "No, I think it's crap." Immediately, your initial reaction is, "Oh." Do you know what I mean? So, but in reality, you think to yourself, it's not always going to be amazing. 'Cause surely there is going to be someone that's going to be like, don't like it. Because
I've had some friends that I thought have been good friends before, and at the time they probably were good friends. But again, I say it from the get-go, with anyone that I speak to, and I feel like there's going to be some sort of relationship formed, like friendship, relationship, whatever, I am blunt as fuck. If you ask me a question, you're going to get an honest answer. And again, it's only out of love. I'm not trying to tear you down. I'm not gentle with it either, but that's just who I am. I'm not a fluffy person. I do black and white, not grey. So if you cannot handle that, please, I'm telling you now, if you say to me, I've designed this t-shirt and I think it's shit, I wouldn't say it, oh, it's shit, but I would say...
You wouldn't be like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I can't wait to
buy
it.
There's levels. I think there's levels. See, I would say my honest opinion, but I'll go around the houses with the niceness, okay? This guy right here, no, see, you're in the middle, okay? I feel like you're in the middle. This guy right here, he just straight up say shit. He's literally saying to me already. I feel like
we should tell the kids right now.
He's already saying to me, so why are they bringing that to me? And why are we saying it's really good? I was like, because they're children, that's what we do, okay?
No, but the thing is,
and he's just like, absolutely not. We need to be telling these kids right from the get-go.
I think you should tell him. At the very least, you should be like, is there more? Because I think when you hear daddy, mummy for about 2 minutes straight, which doesn't seem like a long time, but it is when you just, and you finally go, yeah, and then they go, look at this, and then they not even a proper jump, like a half hop, and then they look at you like, did you just see what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I feel like
not wasting my time.
But I feel like that. But I feel like the way you get to that point is it stems from. So what will happen is initially, when of course they're learning how to walk. And even though, of course, that is the next logical step when you're a person as you get older, you can't help but as a parent be like, oh, wow, shit, my kid's walking. So, yeah, all right, you're going to go, well done.
It's a big deal, babe.
Yeah, but then what happens is, I feel like what happens is kids start to then, they respond to that reaction.
Yeah.
And then they start to like that reaction. And what happens is, okay, then they draw a picture.
I just think you're hard.
But then listen, I feel like the way they draw a picture, and then you go, oh, wow. And then what happens is, oh, wow, if I do something, this person... maybe even both of them are going to do this. It then gets diluted down to just
You're hilarious.
Yeah, but I think
the other day,
not everyone's as cold as us.
No,
Some people
once.
can't
The
cope
other,
with this
no, I
level
can't what
of
day it was. The other day,
nonsense.
Eden called out him for ages, and then when we sent one, he said, "What?" She then tried to think of something to do. Like, you didn't have a game plan to do this nonsense she was going to show me.
Oh, she's free, babe.
I can't remember what she showed us, but I was like, we should tell her, and that sucks. That sucks.
I think you're a terrible, terrible human. I think
I feel it's terrible to tell people they're doing great things when they're doing actually
adults.
It's like
adults, Phil. We're talking about 3-year-olds. Honestly, I just think you.
I don't think you're saying that. Okay, maybe I'm going to say it sucks.
What you need to do is you need to go live a life, where somebody is like you, like an absolute a-hole, like all day, every day for 2 weeks solid, and then maybe you might come out of this awful headspace that you're in. Anyway, let me get back to my point. You remember that? Yeah, not that point. I'm talking about the point before you started talking about don't basically tell kids they've done great things.
They've done great things. Tell them.
You gotta learn a day.
If it's shit,
you gotta learn a day.
I think you should just tell them you suck.
Yeah, well, darling, we're not all thick-skinned like you that just seem to think, you're all good. You're gravy, baby. You're just grand. We're not all like that, okay? Yeah, literally, he's going to be there in a corner rocking, absolutely barbaric. Yeah, so you've got people like you, and then I think you've got people like you because you're like and then you've got people like me. We go around the houses, so I'm not saying you're probably the best ones. Straight to the point, without all the fluff, but without the douchebag, without the douchebagness of everyone can stomach this level of non-empathetic nonsense, and then you've got a bit of empathy there. But I'm going to tell you straight, it's really not. It's just not your best. Start again.
The thing is,
and then you've got me that's like, oh well, it's really quite nice, but not really that nice, and maybe you should work on this bit, but the rest of it's really quite lovely.
I feel like at some point somebody's going to tell him you suck. So they might as well hear it from you.
Darling.
Before.
Darling.
You're going to be the topic of their counselling.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's going to push them all in there.
Do you know when X Factor first started, and it was still genuine? Where you genuinely had people going on there thinking they could sing. And then, and that was a time when, like, Simon Cowell was considered some demon because he was telling people, you're shit, mate. And then
you're the Simon Cowell life, mate. You are.
But they'd be so shocked. They'd be like, but my family said I can sing.
No, right. Look, you're talking nonsense. There's levels to all of this, and we're not talking about. You've got somebody that can sing like their cats are being strangled, and they're like, oh, they're really, really good, and then they go on there and they're like, oh, I can really, really sing, and they really can't. We're not talking that though, because the reality is. Well, this is what I say to you all the time. Your kids are never going to be able to get away from what you are.
Do you remember?
Okay? No, don't interrupt me. So you are not going to be able to get. Like they're not. They're always going to have. They're just not going to be that. They're not going to go and think they're great at something because they've got you as their father. It's never going to happen.
We all went out. Yeah, I won't say the names of the people, but one of the people is in this room. We all went out to a particular pub. With one person, another person, and then another person who was in a somewhat relationship with this other person. Mm-hmm. Now, this other external person. I'm trying
to work out all this situation, these persons.
Let's put it, we went punting to get to this place. We went on a punt to get to this place.
Right, yeah.
Okay. And this person, decided they were all right at making cakes. And they made a big cake and gave everyone a big slice, a very big slice. Right? Now, bear in mind, we have somebody else who's with us who's very good at making cakes.
Right.
Yeah? He's very good at making cakes. So we're used to a standard of cakes.
I'm a snob when it comes to cakes.
So what happens is this other person, who I don't know who told them that they were making cakes, made this huge cake, and I think it was a birthday cake, and gave everyone big slices, and then was like, because they're so confident, they were like, eat it. We were then in a situation where we were to eat a cake that sucks. Yeah. Because somebody told this person, you suck at making cakes. That they were so confident.
There's a lot of people out there making whack cakes, mate.
You remember the person I'm talking
about?
I
know exactly the situation, mate. Because I know a whack cake when I see one. I know that there's a lot of whack cake makers out there, okay?
I feel like
I could put myself in one of them, mate. I ain't that creme de la creme at making.
I feel like if the price of me not eating your sucky cake is you getting therapy, then so be it.
Oh, so you're saying you told him, did you?
No, I didn't. Someone else just told them.
Exactly.
It was too late. I was like,
acting like you're Johnny Big Bollocks, mate, over here.
No, I'm not. They were my responsibility.
You didn't tell that person, did you? You didn't tell them about this guy. You're telling us now. And you're sitting there. You got all this passion
I didn't
about
finish
this
it.
guy.
I took a bite. I was like,
that
what?
strongly. Yeah, I see it.
The point I'm trying to make is that
I don't know. I said
that person's family didn't tell them that they sucked. And you never know. She might still be making big sucking cakes for people right now.
Well, no, she probably is 100%. Yeah, she got business. But listen. But you're talking about these old adults, right?
Not 3-year-olds.
No, it doesn't, darling. It doesn't. What stems from 3 is the therapy session they're going to end up in because of your behaviours.
Yeah, when she's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, by calling people's attention and doing that half hop.
Do you know what? Yeah, all I can say is,
oh my god,
heavens to Betsy, and thank God these children have got me.
Yeah, but it's a good balance. You got
we've got yin yang and all sorts, mate. We've got it all going on over it because we are like. Well, you have a podcast for another day on parenting. I'll tell you that for free. Let's not go into that now.
I was going to ask you, like, in terms of because you've kind of gone on a proper spiritual journey, not just like where when people just say I've gone on a spiritual journey, but they haven't.
I've had a spiritual awakening.
100%. Honestly, that story you told me about your hippie weekend. Couldn't drink, or you can drink. Oh, that first one.
Oh, well,
what do they entail? What do you do? When I hear hippie, I'm thinking something else.
What do you think?
Don't worry about what I'm thinking. I'll literally explain what it is.
Oscar and stuff. Yeah, I don't take any like hallucinogenics.
Is it just the case of sort of going there and just sort of, it's like having like a mental reset?
Being at one with.
It's really hard to describe because when normally people are like, oh, you do yoga and you just meditate, and it's not. It's really intense. It's because it's not all spiritual. It's not all therapy. It's like a mixture of both. And it's. I had I had a couple of years of therapy before I started this.
Yeah.
And the therapy was okay, but it just didn't seem to. I could, there was a couple of things that my counsellor said that I was like, shit, that's me.
Yeah.
And like, I was beginning to see that I am responsible for my own bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't quite tipping me over the edge of, okay. Whereas I joined up for this thing, not expecting anything like what it is, went on my own. Which I'd never done before in my life.
That's terrifying.
I turned up and I was shitting my pants.
I'd have been absolutely petrified.
The ladies that were there were like, oh, it's our first weekend too. Everyone was really lovely, but I was still, I was cacking my pants because I was like, oh my God, what have I got myself into? Anyway, I'm not really going to go into what they do because it's quite I wouldn't say it's a protective thing. It just doesn't sound... Like, you'd want to put me in a straitjacket.
Right.
But they do like a meditation, but it's a deeper meditation where you sort of go into a trance and then you meet like your spirit guides and stuff. And obviously I'd never done this stuff before. So I'm sitting there thinking, this is bollocks.
Yeah.
This is absolute bullshit. But obviously it worked for me.
Yeah.
Not straight away, but...
But you said it was kind of draining. Like every time you come back,
every weekend it's like a.
Oh, you got more than once then? You went like quite a few times.
Yeah,
right.
It's like 5 weekends a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and because I do the advanced course, there's like separate days in the year as well. So this is the thing that I've been going on for 4 years.
Right. Okay.
And I love it. I mean, whether it's true or not, it works for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think again, it's about the intention of why I go, and I go because I know it's going to be hard, and I know I'm probably going to cry, and I know it's going to be healing for me as time goes on. But we've walked across the thing that I think was a big flip was on one of those weekends. The second weekend is like a fire weekend, so you work with the element of fire, and because fire is very spiritual and blah blah blah. Again, without going too much into it, they have a fire walk, which is hot coals. And at first I was thinking, on my first weekend I was thinking, I don't get how this is meant to be empowering. I don't get, apart from going, oh yeah, I've walked across hot coals, like a big ego trip thing.
Yeah.
which I then took that on as, I'm going to walk over hot coals. Like, I had a real big problem with my ego before all of this. Like, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be on top. I wanted to be the best at my job. I wanted to be the best, at school. I wanted to be the best netball captain, everything. Everything I had to be top. And I still don't know where that comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not so bothered. Couldn't be asked for it. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd rather just slink in the corner, listen to everyone, because the quietest person in the room is the smartest person in the room.
Mm-hmm. That's never me then, mate.
And then I walked over these hot coals and I was told, give something to the fire to let go of. And I'm thinking, all right.
What something in your head? Do you mean think of something
that you want to let go of, but you have to be really specific?
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, how on earth is this going to work? All right, okay. So at this point, I was still suffering quite badly with anxiety every day.
Yeah.
Because this was early on in sort of my journey. So
since Jack.
Oh yeah, I wasn't as anxious. As before Jack, my son, but I was still anxious for no reason quite a lot of the time. Not every single day, but a lot of the time. I'd be fearful of things that you'd think, why on earth? Like, now I think about it and think, how fucking stupid, but that's what it was. So I thought, right, I'm going to give this unnecessary anxiety that doesn't serve me, because sometimes anxiety does serve you because it warns you that there's danger.
Oh yeah.
To the fire. So then I walked across these hot coals and I was like, I was expecting it just to evaporate, and it was like, oh well, what a load of shit. And then it wasn't until like 2 weeks after that I thought, I haven't been anxious for like 4 days straight, and that was unheard of. Normally I would be anxious at least like 3 out of 4 days, all the time, constant. And I was thinking, oh my god, I've given that away. And again, it doesn't matter if it's, I believe it's spiritually, because I've got that connection now. But even if it wasn't, it's still gone.
That's all that matters.
And again,
I think
it was the intention of, I'm actually going to put my full intention and my energy into giving this away. So even if it is all in my head, it's still gone.
Still
so
gone,
it's
But I think the thing is I think one of it is a symbol that you sort of, that you want to get, and you want to sort of try and do something, like trying to help yourself in a way. I remember like we spoke about when like there was a time when sort of, when you spoke about your anxiety, and I said maybe you can get that jar, you can just write the things down and just stick them in there, and it's not even that it was like, it would be that, like I said, it would go away, but it was just a way of sort of, at the very least, writing it down, putting it on paper, so you can sort of, for that moment, offload it somewhere else. And that, like, and then just to see if that can help in a way, because I think, like I said, it's symbolic in the sense of, this is me trying to sort of move past this.
Again, I got called out because I would always say, oh, my anxiety, I can't do that because of my anxiety. Or if I speak to someone, oh, I've got generalised anxiety disorder. Like, that would put me in victim mode. So I'd be like, I'd hold on to it because I'd be like, oh, feel sorry for me. Because I've got, don't get me wrong, I did feel anxious all the time, but my anxiety, I had to. And again, the person that facilitates this thing picks people up on how you speak about yourself.
You've done that to me.
It's NLP, neuro-linguistics program, I think it stands for. And it seems like such a small thing, but that again has helped me. When I say, oh, my anxiety's playing up, that's me owning it. I don't want to own it. And if I do want to own it, that's because I want to be a victim. So why do I want to be in victim mode? And now that I look back 10 years ago, I was having a really hard time, but I was keeping myself there.
I think sometimes it's about like wanting to help yourself, isn't it? And I think on my anxiety journey, when I had panic attacks, like, it was like 2 years of my life was just horrendous, but I really wanted to get better. So I really wanted to do all that I could.
There comes a time, and I think something, for me especially, I think to make big changes in my life, I think something has got to happen. And again, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be I need to change this because this has happened.
Yeah.
That is something that I'm still working on. But sometimes I think just coasting is easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I've coasted a lot this year, but that's because I've had a bit of a traumatic first half of the year.
Yeah.
And I'm giving myself a break because I'm the sort of person that needs to be doing something. Right. For example, if I didn't like my job, right, I need to change it right now.
Yeah.
Or I don't like my house, so I need to look for another house right now.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And just a change doesn't mean that things are going to get better.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So I've learnt to rest.
Yeah.
Because, most of my 20s was chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
This part of the year has been chaotic. And it's only just started to settle down.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, right, it's okay just to coast for now.
Yeah.
And then maybe next year I might make some changes.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a difference between making a change and then just sort of getting a distraction that will potentially.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think it is that. I think sometimes people do that. They'll run away from a problem in the form of, I don't know, doing something new, but it's just more kind of distracting from, so that they don't have to face
the underlying issue. Yeah.
And I think I think a lot of people, and again, it's easy. I just said it's just easier to sort of do that. I think it's a challenging thing to sort of.
Like last year, for example, or whenever it was, my ex-partner, and I will not speak badly about him because he was a lovely person. Yeah. But now in hindsight, I think I just wanted, because I'd been on my own for so long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was on my own since Jack was 5 months old, up until that point.
Yeah.
I was thinking, fuck, I'm going to be 30 next year, and I've still not got a partner.
Yeah.
And I'm still not. To me, I was panicking that I'm no further forward in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I wanted to, we went on a couple of dates and I thought, right, I'm going to try and make this work now.
Yeah.
Lovely person, just wasn't compatible at all.
Yeah.
And again, through this program that I do and whatever, I've learnt that everything that happens is either a lesson or, you get teaching from it, and everything does really happen for a reason. So that person taught me what I do like in a relationship, what I don't like in a relationship.
Yeah.
And it showed me that, yes, I am ready to settle down, because before that, I was a bit like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to settle down yet.
You're quite happy on your own.
Yeah, I'm quite happy on my own, which I was. But the commitment side of it, I was a bit like, I don't know about that. Whereas this person taught me, actually, yes, I do feel like I want to settle down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything in my life is a reason. There's a reason why it happens. And sometimes in the moment you think, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What, really?
What is the reason for this? But then I always find that my healing, I see it in hindsight.
Yeah.
Rather than
Snap.
happening now.
Yeah.
So now I can look at that situation, even though it wasn't a bad relationship or anything like that, not by any means. But when I first split up with him, it was sort of like, oh, fucking hell, waste of time.
Yeah.
But now I can see it as, actually, no, he just wasn't the right person. He wasn't capable of giving me the love that I need. And now I know what sort of love I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm high maintenance, but because of this journey that I've gone on, my boundaries, I've got a lot of boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tolerate disrespect at all. I won't settle for someone that is giving me 30%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that someone can't be 100% all the time, but again, it's consistency.
Yeah.
He different in the beginning, and I hate this when they're different in the beginning and then it changes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just be consistent. You've got the chance to show me who you really are at the beginning.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm not going to like you. If you're not going to take me everywhere all the time and whatever, that's not a problem.
No. I think it's just that I think if you sometimes, again, I think people sometimes they do this unintentionally. They'll set a standard that isn't really a standard that they can't really maintain.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is people end up setting the exceptions as the standard. So, for example, it's like guys initially when they meet a girl, they were like, oh, I'll take you on a date, this and the other, but the guy is not planning to continue behaving that way all the time. But when
it's like guys will usually give a lot more of affection at the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, and then later on they'll then be like, oh, actually, I'm not into any of that.
My relationship now, I'm with a woman at the moment, and I hope to be, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying in the moment. We're very different but very similar at the same time, whereas we're both quite spontaneous. And I like that. I like that in a person, whereas my ex-partner was not spontaneous at all, and that's fine because that's just not who he is. But I've come to realise that, you know, when I haven't got my son, when he's with his dad, or even when I've got my son and, you know, she's got her children, we can do things just off the cuff. And she's not got a problem with it, and I love that. I love that. There's no stress, there's no I need it planned, or oh, can we do that another day? Like, she's normally 9 times out of 10, if circumstances allow, up for it. And I love that about her. And she loves going on dates. I love going on dates. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could be just going to the beach.
It's spending time together.
It's that. I find dates, especially if they're not, you know, loaded with money, you know, like expensive restaurants, whatever. Even just going for a walk on the beach, I find that really intimate. You know, you're spending time with that person, just you two, surrounded by nature, talking about whatever comes to your mind. So everything that has happened in my life now, I can look back and think, you know, I know it sounds cliche, but being pregnant with Jack saved my life. Because I was going downhill. Like, I don't think I would be here now. And I know a lot of people say that, but I genuinely mean it, you know. Like, when I was working shift work, I was constantly drinking. Because I was young.
You was doing reckless behaviours.
And I was reckless.
And
I think sometimes you need something. I think we all need it. But I think sometimes some people need it sooner or more so than others. I think so we need something to ground you.
You need a purpose, and you need something to you know, like he is your purpose. Like, he's something that will have made you go, there's a higher thing here. It's not about me anymore.
I'll put him above anything. Even myself. Like, he's like a diamond child.
And that's actually something we did speak about, actually, because you said when you was younger, you used to be, I was really selfish. And you used to say, like, having Jack has kind of made you less selfish because, you know, you put...
I would still say I'm selfish, but I don't see selfish. And again, I learnt this on this program that I do. And Taz, the lady who runs it, always says, we in this Western society have made selfish a negative word. And why is being selfish a bad thing? You know, I get it if you're very self-indulged and you don't think about anything else.
And you don't think of others or anything. Then that's it.
You know, I'm very good at saying no. If I don't want to do something, I'll say no.
And I think that's really good because I'm not very good at that.
You're terrible.
I'm terrible at that.
But if I don't want to do something, if I don't want to go out, and because of the friends that I've got, I know that I won't get questioned either. It's no, can't really be asked. All right, cool.
I think
I'm very good at, and again, I'm very good at knowing when I need to rest. So if I come home from work or, you know, get Jack from school and whatever, and I'm not feeling great and I'm feeling tired and exhausted, I don't care. I'll go and sit on my bed and read a book. I don't feel like I need to go and do the dishes. I won't feel like, I need to tidy the living room up. Fuck that. That can wait. That will still be there in the morning.
Whereas I think my trouble is those things help with my mental state to feel...
we're different people, aren't we? So, you know, I've never been a person that's like, I need my house really clean. Like, your house is stunning all the time.
It really isn't. Thanks.
It is compared to my house. I'm clean, but I'm not. I'm not
tidy. Like,
I'm not tidy. No, not at all.
Because it's tidy and it's clean.
So if my house is tidy, there's a problem. You laugh, but there is. Like,
I've been in.
I'm either really annoyed.
Oh, really?
And I find if I clean intensely, something is annoying me.
Really?
It's weird, isn't it? I'm hungover.
You do it when you're hungover?
Yeah, I love cleaning when I'm hungover.
I just love cleaning. I find cleaning now with having kids, it's a killjoy. Because if I was able to, if he was able to take the kids out for 3 hours, and I was just able to have 3 hours and music blaring and just to clean, I'd love that. Because I don't want to be disrupted. No. I want to do my job that I want to do.
Different, but again, different circumstances, because Jack's been going to his dad since he was months old. As soon as he's gone, I'm like, thank God. Sometimes, I miss him, but thank God.
Yeah, you want
honey,
I go up the fucking shop.
I look really forward to that bedtime, and I literally say to the children, like, when Franklin's coming down, he wants a biscuit, he needs a poo, he needs this, I want a cup of water. I'm like, darling, I said, this is my time.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been waiting a long time to get you into bed. So what you need to do is
turn on
go
that
to
telly
sleep.
and not hear the iPad in the background. Bliss. Or go to the shop and not be, Mummy, can I have this? Mummy, can I have that? No, leave me alone.
Yeah.
I'm going to the shop on my own.
Oh, it's a nice feeling when you're just able to...
But cleaning, last thing I want to do. When he's gone, I'm like, nah.
I'm a real... Oh, I do love a good clean. No. Makes me feel fabulous, and, though.
Again, off topic, the kitchen is the one place that I will keep clean. And I'll keep tidy. Yeah. Nowhere else. I'll make my bed every morning. That's about it. That's as far as it goes.
Well, you're pretty good at making the bed, yeah. You're getting better. No, you
there's making the bed, and then there's doing what Laura does. We have 36 pillows, and then another duvet that you don't actually use as a duvet.
You do have a lot of pillows.
And then you have
I have pillows everywhere, don't I?
And you have a throw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which has to go a certain way.
Yeah. Well, because coordination is key, and if I had a mishmash colour and a cut, don't work for me.
Yeah, that's not making
the bed. It's going to affect what is it? What's the word? Oh, it's feng shui.
That's something else. That's on some other. That's beyond.
But darling, I'm just giving you a pat on the back that you do those pillars and that throw really, really well these days.
But no, I think it's like when you were saying about, like, your last relationship, it wasn't necessarily like maybe at the time you was thinking, geez, another one, it's ended, whatever it is. But I think sometimes like you may not know necessarily what it is you like, but sometimes you need to kind of find out what you don't want.
Yeah, I mean, I've now seen that he's in a new relationship, and they're going on dates and whatever, and that's what my problem was. Yeah, my problem was we don't go out anywhere. I feel like an 80-year-old woman, and now seeing him doing it with someone else. Yeah. First of all, I was like, oh, that hurt. Yeah. That hurts my heart. That not necessarily because, without sounding harsh, the feelings are gone. Yeah. Yeah. And they have been for a long time. But
you do think to yourself,
my first thing was, why wasn't I good enough to do this? Yeah. But then I've now looked at it, stepped back from that feeling, looked at it and thought, well, why am I taking this personally? Because obviously I'm not the person for him, he's not the person for me. Yeah. So he might feel more comfortable doing it with this person because they get on better than me and him ever did. Yeah. And I get on better with my current partner because we're very similar in some ways. Again, very different in other ways, but it seems to...
I think it's one thing that it's like, as you said, like, everything, the things that happen for a reason. And I think sometimes, although we might like to look at certain situations or certain relationships as though they're what we'd like them to be, sometimes it is just cases of, like, for example, like I said, I've said to Laura, I've worked with some people where I honestly feel like I've come across these people so it can make me be a better dad, because sometimes I look at these people and I'm like, I don't want my son to be like you. So, and I feel like it's almost like there's an element like life, karma, call it whatever you want, of the universe. We'll kind of give you glimpses of what is out there in the world just so you can understand what it is. Because I think sometimes I think to myself, I look at these people and I'm like, I don't know what the people around you were doing to let you get to this point that you now function like this in society, because this is wild, and me just watching you give me anxiety.
And to just go on from that, I think there's been a lot of like generational shift, especially with our generation. Yeah. Because we're millennials, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, millennials. Yeah.
I think a lot of millennials have now come out of that. Well, I'm just gonna act how my mum and dad did, and their mum and dad, and their mum and dad.
So true.
Like, as millennials and Gen X after us, is it?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Gen Z.
Gen Z.
I can't remember which one comes first.
No, it's Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, isn't it?
Right,
yeah, I think so. Anyway, whoever's after us, they've even pushed it further and been been quite rebellious. Whereas I think we've still got that balance of not being sensible as such, but that traditional side, the traditions, also the other side of it. Yeah. So again, I think that's another.
No, that is very, very true, because I think that we are the generation of growth and sort of like change.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at how people view other people's situations, like homophobia, for example, a lot more people do not give a fuck who you're dating. These days. Whereas even 10 years ago, it was a bit
it would have been like, what are you doing?
You're doing what?
Well, even us 10 years ago, really.
Yeah. Well, you're doing what? You're seeing who?
Yeah.
Like, I find, again, our generation, and I'm not saying all Gen X and boomers and whatever. But I find it more accepted in this day and age.
Definitely. Yeah, for sure.
And with Gen Z, they couldn't give a shit.
Like,
and I've never, even when I was the version of myself before, I've never given a shit about other people's lives. No. But that's probably because I'm selfish. I don't know. But I've never given a shit about what other people are doing, even like people that I like.
Yeah, there's almost an element because I mean, we had this conversation before, with our kids, and there's one time I even sat there, I thought to myself, I'm like, I said, once these kids are capable, once I know they're capable of taking care of themselves the same way I am, in a sense of, I'm not going to worry about them or this and the other, and they're fully adults. I don't, as much as, even when I say, even if you ask me, what would I like for my children?
About Eden.
I don't know. Absolutely.
Don't worry about that girl.
She's slab a bitch.
But I'm generally like, there's part that's like, it's not even in me, because I don't worry about what other adults do. So when my kids do become adults, I don't think there's an element I'm gonna really. Like, I might be intrigued. Like, what are you planning to do?
Nice. See,
but if you said to me, Dad, I know you said to me I should do X. Like, for example, the one thing I've said, I want my kids to be physically healthy. I want them to have their health. But if you turn around and says to me, that I'd rather just be a 300 pound overweight lazy slob. I'm like, there's as much as I don't want you to do that.
That's your choice.
I have better things to worry about than to worry. Because if you don't want to take care of it, I'm not.
Well, what's the better thing to worry about? What's the better thing to worry about? What is the better thing to worry about?
What I'm going to have for dinner?
That's the more important thing to worry about.
What I'm saying is, if he,
I think you need to be sad and alone.
If I've shown him, if I said to him, look, do this, these are the options in life.
Even as a parent, you can't control them.
No, you can't. But you cannot say such whatever the word is, like absolute nonsense. Like, I've got better things to worry about than your child basically saying, don't care if I die.
But by that point they're adults, so
mate, I don't like that.
What you think right now? If you say, right now,
to the day you die.
Okay, think about it. We're potentially going to be moving away, and you can see there's an element that will have somewhat of an effect on your parents, in a sense of, because right now there's a proximity. Like, proximity is not an issue. We can just see them, whatever, this and the other. But if we do move, there's going to be an element that's going to affect them. There's no way I could live my life that if my kids' decisions, if they go left when I want them to go right, if that's going to affect me that much, I couldn't live. I'll be insane.
Yeah, well, think of me. Think of me, because I tell you now, like, I just can't, like, live and breathe for those things.
You two. Like, you are the biggest worry I know.
The biggest worry. He doesn't give a shit about a thing.
No.
He doesn't. He's so chilled. He's laying down all day, every day. But the thing is, he doesn't worry about a thing. But I don't even...
But the thing is, me personally, I don't see the...
That's why he could sit on an argument for 3 days, mate. He don't give a monkeys about a damn thing.
I don't see the logic in worrying about something that doesn't directly affect
I think, do you know what?
Especially if I've done all I can to try and fix it.
Nah, see, well, you don't do all you can to fix it. That's definitely not what you do. You don't do all you can to fix it.
Okay, within reason.
Yeah, all right, mate. But I commend it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've always said to you, I said, I've never met anyone like you up till now. I don't know anyone like you. I've never met anyone like you. You're a complete anomaly that I still every day go, why have I?
But the thing is, just like when you said that you saw, you know, your ex was now basically doing these things that more or less you was asking for within somebody else, and then you sort of step up and you're like, okay, why am I taking this personal? I think there's an element that even with your kids, if they make a decision and you feel a type of way about it, I don't think it's about them. I think there's something in yourself that's reacting, and it isn't generally because
it's not about you, Laura. It's not about you.
But that's what I mean.
Do you know what? Like, let's just touch on the fact that you are damn lucky, okay, that you are with a woman like me. Because honestly, darling, if you were with anyone remotely like yourself, you'd never get anywhere.
Neither one of us would give a shit.
Nothing would even happen. You wouldn't even hit your toes. Yeah, exactly.
It'd just be like,
it would just
don't speak to me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's fine. Literally, I don't even know how life would even function.
Don't even look at me. Don't talk to me. I don't care.
Yeah, because you literally are so stubborn and aggressive.
I'm not actually stubborn.
Thank you, Georgia. Utter nonsense. Not actually stubborn. You obviously don't self-reflect. That's not what you're doing.
You're not being very self-aware.
Yeah, you're not being self-aware at all. You definitely are stubborn. Who fixes most situations?
No,
what he's going to say is, you create most situations. That's what he's going to say. No, that's with your perspective.
No, I have a genuine self-awareness of what I say and the reason why I say it. So I've never said anything in my adult life. I've never said anything that I was like, oh, didn't mean that, or I've just, didn't mean to say that. So if I've said something, it's because of A, B, C, D, which I'll spell out for you, and hence why what do you call it. But it's very rare.
Okay.
But on the few occasions,
darling.
On the few occasions where I've had to, I've had to come and be like, you know what?
Boxing gloves in it.
Well, I've had to come and say, you know what? That was on me. I've come out and said that.
Okay, honey, you just are such an arrogant person. Are you actually joking? On the few, okay? On the few, put your finger out my face on your few occasions.
For example, like we have this thing, yeah.
Few occasions.
We have this thing, yeah.
Oh, darling, please.
We're both like backseat drivers, yeah. So like one of us is driving, the other person's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna be doing that.
Yeah.
And we've had this thing where since we've got this new car. We've been going on about what gears you should be in because the thing tells you what gears it should be in.
100% need to be in a higher gear because the poor car is screaming.
And this is the thing. We're talking about it because I was driving. I'm
feeling this animal object pain. It really affects me. I'm like, oh, he's really screaming now.
You have a strange relationship with cars.
No, I do have a strange relationship with cars. You really
get looked at.
No, I do. I really like us.
But she was like, we're talking about it, yeah. And then I was like, oh yeah, I don't think you need to issue certain. And then I said, you know what? I know nothing about cars, so I don't even know if I'm even saying anything. So you're probably right. And that was it. I was just like,
oh yeah, but that's the first time in life. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh my god, yeah, like,
well 12 years.
It's the first time you ever say something. Well done.
No, but I've said that about a lot of stuff.
Darling.
One time I was
12 years ago.
You're
right.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation about scaffolding.
I'm wrong.
No, but the thing is, what happens is the situation.
The situation with us most of the damn way. She come in like right near the beginning.
No, look, the thing is, those situations come and go so quickly.
She's had your BS since day one.
That you couldn't even tell. You didn't even realize they've happened. I could list all the situations that have happened. But it's never been an argument because for the most part I'm like,
Like just rearrange the room.
One time we had a bit about scaffolding,
and
then I was like, actually, I don't know what scaffolding is used for, so let me shut up. And that's where it just ended there and then. But I'm
so pleased that you've got those few occasions on your hand that you can count on one hand. It's commendable.
Oh, loads. I've got a list. I'll write a list.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, honey bun. I can't even believe you, man. You're a joker. You're not a joker. Coming on here trying to make yourself look good. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing that you can't even crop out.
I say what I mean and I'll mean what I say.
Say what I mean and I mean what I say. Honestly, kid. You are something else.
But the thing is that, I don't like. But the thing is this though. If I say something, I'm not anticipating your response.
No, what you can't ever do.
You are anticipating my response when you say something. So if you say to me, if you say to me, go fuck yourself, you're anticipating that I'm then gonna go.
There's no way I'd say that though.
No, but
why would I say that?
And she definitely knows you wouldn't just go, you'd be like, right, bet, let's go.
No, she knows
You're ready for everything, mate. You're ready. You've got your gloves on every damn day.
No, but I'm not like, if I say something to you, I'm not expecting you to take it and receive it and be like, yeah, okay.
No, but the trouble is this is the thing. This is why you're lucky you're with somebody like me, because of the fact that most of the time I'm like, calm, cool, calculated. Oh, okay, yeah.
But to be fair, though, I don't. What do you call it? I don't tell you to go fuck yourself if you're clearly trying to be a line crosser. if you're a habitual line crosser, then I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. But I'm not an unreasonable person. I'm not like.
Right.
No, he says, babe,
well, let's just preach off that. I'm not an unreasonable person. Okay? So where do we go from there?
If you said to me, baby, you give me a cup of tea.
I think it's about perspectives, isn't it?
100%
again,
perspectives.
that's another thing that I've had to learn is other people have got different perspectives to me.
Yeah.
That's
what you need to learn, babe.
I think my way of thinking, I've come to realise, is very, very different to most people's.
Yeah.
And
no, but you've not gone on that journey to understand that yet.
Uh-huh.
That's what you need to do. You need to go on that journey.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, I genuinely treat people the way I want to be treated, 100%. So if I say to you, if you used to take,
yeah, but that's why I'm saying you're lucky with somebody like me, because nobody's treating you the way you treat other people. That's the thing. That's the reality, though.
No, but
no. Let's talk about that for just a second, because that is the reality, darling. If you were with somebody that was treating you, I don't think you could cope with it, mate.
I'll be alright, mate.
No, I don't think you would be alright.
You wouldn't talk to each other.
No, you wouldn't be alright. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't talk to each other.
Different houses.
Right.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
have you seen it with your friends, mate? It's a stress.
Yeah,
it's a stress.
Yeah, we're friends for ages.
Yeah, you've been friends for ages, but honestly, when you're together, it's 2 hours of arguing.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, for example, okay, if I'll ask you for something, if I ask you to do something, there's never gonna come a time where you're gonna ask me to do that thing and I'm gonna feel a type of way. Or
no, but you can't. No, let's not talk about those kind of things, because neither of us are douchebags, mate. If you ask somebody to do something, if I ask you to kindly do something, or you ask me to kindly do something, we're not pricks, okay? Of course you're going to do that. We're talking about a whole nother level with you. We're not talking about, oh, would you mind doing the dishes? You would say to me back in the day, you're like, you don't tell me to do the dishes, I'll do them when I'm ready.
Okay, for example.
That's fine. Okay, I learned. Let's word it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stroke this boy. I'm going to make him feel great. I'm going to say, oh, darling, I really could do your help right now. Could you please help me? Yeah. Could you please help me do these dishes? I learned from day dot. I learned really early on. I had 2 years of BS with you. Yeah, I learned. But we're not talking about those things. Okay, we're not talking about those things. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about.
It's this. Okay, for example, take for example the doing the dishes thing.
No, don't take that for an example. We don't need that as an example. We know the situation with the dishes. We're not unreasonable people. I learned.
Okay,
so ask it.
So I'll give you a simple example. Okay, so for the most part, if you backseat drive me, I'm fine.
Oh yeah, and you're going to backseat drive me. You just say you're going to. You this is what I'm saying.
But I'm fine with it because I know I'm not the best driver.
Right.
So I have no problem with you backstreet driving.
No, that's fine.
In fact,
let's use the situation today. Oh, darling, let's use the situation today of the situation where I just said, well, one little line in the car. This might not be your vibe. I'm going to change this music. But apparently it was his vibe. And then he went on to this thing. Oh no, he doesn't just. Okay, yeah. I put a different playlist on, yeah. And then he goes, well, I like that song. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, no, I'm not saying that you... Well, hang on, let me look. So he then goes on to that list, yeah, goes through, and he goes, oh, there's only 5 songs on here that I don't know. I went, all right, okay, well, I didn't say that you didn't know the songs that was on the playlist. I just said it might not have been your vibe. And he was just like... And he's like, they were my vibe. And I was like, okay, I was meaning a vibe of a Friday. Maybe you want to sing a little bit more upbeat. These are a little bit more like you might cry in your beer, okay? So I thought to myself... I like me country and I like me mellow and this, that and the other. I'm thinking it's not really your vibe, this random mix I've got going on. But okay, and that's fine, darling. But this guy proceeds to get the playlist, and then for the full journey home, we don't listen to a damn song because the guy is basically going, that's my vibe, that's my vibe, that's my vibe, that's my vibe, that's my vibe. Literally.
I'm going to prove you wrong, bitch.
Literally, prove me wrong. And in the end, I was like, okay, I get it. I hear you. You obviously like these songs. I apologise that I wanted to change the playlist for you because I thought you might want a better vibe.
I get it because I can be like that as well. I'm going to prove you fucking wrong.
In my head, I just don't know why you say something so absurd.
But this is.
If you want to change the music, if you want to change the playlist, you change the playlist.
Oh,
don't say because they're my vibe. You want to change it. If you don't want to listen to Sam Cooke, and you want to listen to Afrobeats, put your Afrobeats in. Don't try and put it on me that I'm some fucking simpleton. No, this is what fucking genre music. Yeah, that's what you want it to sound like. This is a bit deep for you, darling. I'll change it for something simpler so you can get it. From my trip to Aldi, it's a bit too much for you. I'll
it is though, darling, because when the country comes on,
do you know what it is? Yeah, that's like
someone. There's only 5 songs. There'd definitely be more than 5 songs.
It would be like you saying someone saying to you, like, I don't know, you come in and you're watching, I don't know, they're reading, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice, and then as you come in, they go, oh, sorry, Georgia, let me get a comic book because this is more down your street. Yeah. Or you're watching, I don't know, some Shakespeare play, and they go, let me put Beavis and Butthead on for you.
Okay.
That's how I took that. It was disrespect.
Right, this is what I'm talking about.
This is disrespect. Me personally.
This is what I'm saying. This is the living a day of the life of Laura Dam Coleman, of the fact that she has to.
Yeah, but I get that.
No, Georgia, don't encourage him, okay? Because that's nonsense, yeah? Because this is what I have to live with.
I feel like there's a hidden agenda. You want to change the song. You want to make it
what you really mean, bitch. You think I'm fake.
You want to change it. That's what happened.
No. Let's stop right there. When would I...
There's patronising. No, she's like, it's not your kind of vibe. I even said, I like that song, and she proceeded to change it.
Oh my God, I was already in the midst of changing.
I didn't even like the song she put on.
Oh. Listen to me. I would never say you are a simpleton on music because you're the one that knows more about... Shut up, man. When would I say that I know more about music?
It's not your kind of vibe,
darling.
It's a bit too diverse for you.
Jesus.
Again,
this is what I have to live with, guys, and this is basically where I just go, yes, sir. 3 bags full,
sir. Darling.
Okay, darling. Let's just make you feel better about life, and I know my truth.
I thought you might make yourself feel better about life.
You're going to feel really shit about life in a minute when you get an absolute smacker on the face because you're actually winding me. You really are winding me up.
That's Eden right there. That's what Eden gets it from.
This is what I mean. Honestly, she's an attacker. It's a little woodpecker. No, you're a woodpecker. What you are? You're one of these. You're a bully. That's what you are.
I'll tell you what. We had a situation. Yeah.
Oh God.
Franklin went to hug Eden, but she didn't want to hug, so she punched him in the face.
Absolute disgusting. You can't do that, can you?
That is happening, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is what happened, and I said to her, it's wrong, you shouldn't be doing that.
Have you just threatened to attack me?
Sorry, other kids here. Who are you trying to make feel better about this?
You threatened to attack me, don't hit me again.
Yeah, you're so pathetic, aren't you? You're so pathetic. Get a grip, man. Like you always keep. This is what I mean. Just goads me in a situation just to get himself. It just makes himself feel better about life.
But no, I think. But no. I
know my truth, and I know you are damn lucky boy.
But on a serious note, but the thing is that on a serious note, that I
think on a serious note, you need to bring back to a serious point. That's what you need.
But seriously, but I do generally treat people the way I'm treated in the sense that if I'll never take if I'm pissed off about something else. That will never spill out onto you. That will never.
Never said you did.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Ding ding ding.
But what I'm saying is, but I don't think that's a common thing because I think for the most part people do sort of tend to.
You are not a common thing. That's for sure.
They do tend to sort of let their for the most part. I remember initially when we first started getting together, and I think you said something like, "Oh, we're friends," and I think immediately there and then I was like, "No, we're not." But I think if I had sort of done that thing initially where I was kind of went in disingenuous, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, because it served whatever purpose I wanted at that time, then we would have had problems. I think we still had the problem, but I knew that I knew that in myself. I knew that in myself. I had a point. I'm always gonna say to you. I'd always get to a point where I'd be like, if this isn't working, then by all means, you go your way, I'll go my way. So I think it was an element I had to kind of keep. And for you, for the most part, you've more or less done the same thing. There's never been a grey area into where your boundaries are in terms of relationships. No. And you've never later on been like, by the way, I know you seem like I'm alright with that. I'm actually way not.
I think both of us have been honest from the jump. We just honestly jumped into the wrong situation.
But I think it's what you were saying when you said whether I'm gonna like you or not, just be genuine from the get go.
Be genuine, yeah.
Because at least at the very most, I think
then I know who you are.
Yeah. It'll be because otherwise, if it's just sort of
because if you switch up and change, that's me done. I'm gone.
And the thing is, even if you change for the better, it's I don't know. It's just a case of.
Well, honey, who's changed in this relationship? I've done a lot of growth, mate. Unfortunately, you still sat on the start line, mate.
Well, I didn't tell you that fucking stuff anymore, so that's a change.
I think there's a difference about it's not necessarily change because I think everyone obviously goes through change.
Yeah,
it's the disingenuousness of this isn't actually who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm putting on a mask and I'm putting on a front to try and show you a different version of who I am. To
How
try
do
and impress
people do
you.
that? Yeah.
And to, because this is all shiny and new and whatever. And again, not just in relationships, but friendships as well. I'm going to try and show off. I'm going to try and impress you. And it's all fake. Like, you impress me more by being real from the beginning. I do find people who are genuine and real and honest, especially mums as well, and parents and dads, who say, do you know what? My kid's been a little twat today. I love people like that because then you're like, relatable, real.
Yeah.
Not, it's all sunshine and roses and I love being a mum and blah, blah. Yeah. Sometimes I fucking hate being a mother.
Yeah.
Because that's all I'm seen to be sometimes is a mum.
Yeah.
So I find it more impressive and I genuinely like people more, even if I can't stand them as an actual person.
Yeah.
If you own what you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important to me as well. Own who you are, even your bad traits, because I don't think anyone's got necessarily bad traits. I just think
they're just different.
It's a little bit of work and a little bit different. If you own them, I own the fact that I'm blunt as fuck. You own the fact that, you dance around people sometimes, but you do it.
Yeah, I do.
And you're not embarrassed by it. You're not, you don't try and be like, oh no, I'm just trying to be nice. No. You're like, no, I'm just genuinely scared of telling them the truth sometimes.
Yeah. You eventually do that, to be fair. Eventually you tell people.
Yeah.
I do. I just go around the houses sometimes. Yeah. There's certain people, I think I just always go on the person. So I'll be direct with you and I'll tell you straight up. And there's other people that I have in my life.
Because we've got that relationship.
I can do that with. And then there's other people that I wouldn't be so direct with because I feel like they don't have anyone in their life that would be able, that does that they would then potentially struggle and potentially take it personal, and that's not where it's coming from. It's not coming from a place of, like you say, malice.
And someone actually, I've just thought, someone who I've always found genuine, apart from like my friends and stuff, is Gibbo.
Yeah.
Gibbo.
Oh yeah.
I've known Gibbo a long time now through you guys, obviously.
Yeah.
But every time I spoke to him, he never ever seems fake. He never ever seems disingenuous. He's always like, he's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And he talks shit, but he knows that and he owns it. And it's like, he'll pop into my DMs sometime and be like, have you seen the moon? Like, I haven't spoke to this boy for fucking ages.
Oh, I just love him.
And he'll be like, oh, have you seen the moon? And he'll be like, I keep seeing this number, what does it mean? Can you teach me?
He's just brilliant, isn't he?
For me, he's gone on a...
He's just such life.
He's gone on his own sort of proper spiritual journey to a point where he
gives 100%. He gives. If you're having a conversation with him, he will give 110%.
I've had so many good conversations with him.
Snap.
That have been really deep and really connective and have taught me stuff, and he's been very open to what I've learned and vice versa. And I've always found him really genuine.
Yeah,
sometimes always... I think.
Well, because I always said that. When I first met you, I think he was your one friend that I really liked, like straight from the jump.
I think he never
pretends to be someone who's not, and I like that about him. I do like that a lot. I like people that, like you say, are just who they are, unapologetically who they are, but they're honest with it. And I think that screams volumes.
Yeah, I think most of them is, but I think when you do come across someone that is genuine, you realise just that most of people you do come across are being quite fake, because it's almost like if you meet a stranger,
it's not even. I don't think that it's people. Sorry to interrupt you. I don't think it's necessarily that always people are trying to be fake, but I think a lot of people are scared to be unapologetically themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a mask.
It's
a protective thing. And do you know what I think as well? There's a lot of people out there. It's not fake. They don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
They haven't gone on that journey to learn who are you. Mm-hmm. What are you okay with? What are you not okay with? A lot of people are in relationships where they're feeling scared. They don't want to upset that person. They don't really know how to challenge a situation, and they just don't know. You know, we're all laughing and joking with the way we are, but this is us on a daily basis. This is just who we are. Everyone that knows us, this is who we are. But again, there's no grey area, as you know, but at least then you can always bring the honest conversations and know because I can't live life with feeling like I can't be myself, because my gosh, I'm a required taste. I'm Marmite. Yeah. So if I can't be myself and I'm then in a room thinking, because I've had that before, you know, you're in a room, I'm not going to change for the room, but at the same time I'm aware that these people are not my people and they are not going to appreciate who I am.
They're going to appreciate all this.
Yes, I think I'm going to remove myself. I'm not going to all this talk you've got to say, you know what I mean? Just be quiet, love, sit down in the corner. Yeah, I'll be like, okay, I don't think I'm going to bring that kind of energy here, because it's not, you know.
But that's what I mean. I think you'll get that energy because you'll know that there's an element you're all kind of pretending to be. You've all put the same mask on because you're in this room. Whereas really, if I spoke to you guys individually, you probably would have. There was an element you would kind of all be.
Yeah.
And it's almost like,
I think it's good to be honest like that.
If you, especially when you're in a room full of people, it's almost an element that it's not that they're embarrassed. It's almost that they're embarrassed on your behalf because they're assuming what other people are going to be thinking. Yeah. Whereas I remember when me and Gibber went to Summer Jam, like when you go, there's like different types of people that go there, but the most interesting people are the people that are real proper festival goers. They're full on. They live that whole festival life, but they're so very much like they're fine to go and have their bath in the water, even at the showers. They're fine to go and have their bath in the water, like out in the lake in front of everybody. There is no, like, in that society, there is no, almost like shame isn't even a word, but they're all very much like, they just
don't care,
relax. Whereas, and then you can see another group of people.
All I'm thinking is that, well, that's not clean, is it? It's not clean water. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. See, I find that really commendable. I love people like that are just like,
but they can just like, don't get me wrong, I won't go baby now. There's a shower.
No, but I just get really concerned about infection.
Yeah, but
the
thing is, but I think what happens is you're fine. But I think the scary thing is about it is that, like, you think to yourself,
I wish that I could not be that person though. That's something I would love to change about myself. I'd love to be freer.
There's pros and cons in terms of being a certain way, and I think there's pros in the sense that, you know, you're kind of outside, because I found that I think most of the traits that people have, especially when it comes to sort of cleanliness and social norms, is mainly based on what other people are going to think or what we think as a collective. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think individually, if you said to somebody, like, I think if it's like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, if you went to speak to people individually and said, do you care that this person is gay? They'd be like, I actually don't. Yeah. But socially, it's not a normal thing because of religion or whatever. So I'm gonna have to challenge it, because if I don't, I'm gonna look like I'm for it, and then I'm gonna get ostracized.
And I think some people are too scared to stand up for what they think is right. And I think some people, like you say, they'll go with the masses. And if, like you say, the majority of people are like, I'm against that, they're not going to be that one person to say, really, what is the problem?
I think that's been one of my biggest recently, anyway. When I first started this year's of this program that I do, we asked to set an intention for the year, and my intention was to let that mask go, because when I go into new situations or whatever, I look like a mean bitch. You know, I've got resting bitch face. No one approaches me because I look fucking horrible, and I understand that. Like, I look at myself sometimes and I think, fucking hell, I wouldn't approach me because I look mean. I'm the biggest softie going. You know that.
Yeah. Well, I was just about to say, I don't know if I thought that when I first met you, because I hollered across the walk with you.
Well, I was fucking scared of you. I thought you were just coming to beat me up or something.
I
must have had a moment of weakness there. Well, not even a moment of weakness. I must have just had my mask not off, because I'd literally just got out of the car. Maybe I hadn't put it on yet. And you were like, hi! Oh my God! What did she want? Together. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to come and punch me in the face.
And that's so crazy because, again, apparently I'm quite a scary person and I don't even see how I'm a scary person.
You're loud.
But a lot of people, when they first meet me, is like, oh, I thought you was going to be a bitch. I'm like, I can be a bitch. But not when it's not warranted. Like, I don't go looking for trouble. Well, I used to. Not anymore. I don't. I'm actually a nice person. I don't remember you being like that at all.
Yeah,
this is how I don't get it.
No,
I don't get it at all.
Because I'm so vocal that there's certain situations I do remember, and I was like, absolutely not. We cannot be having this behaviours because this is absolute no. But I don't remember you being like that because I would straight up be like, no, we're not doing that. But I know that you're somebody you can handle yourself, and
I don't know. It's probably, without sounding cliche and whatever, you at that moment you obviously saw who I was.
Well, I was going to say, I think for the most part.
Oh, that give me goosebumps.
Because a lot of people don't.
Because I do not remember. I've never ever, other than the couple of situations that I've had with conversations where we're having a conversation about something that you might have done that I'm like, I'm not really feeling that. That's not a good thing. Don't do that. Other than that, don't do that, girl. Okay, don't be that.
Sorry, Mum.
Yeah.
Look as a neck here. But she's talking about a situation that happened before. So for a split second, she'll go back in the actual moment there and then, and she'll start telling you about it like you're still doing it.
Yeah, like stop doing that. Yeah, no, but that's all. Like I can't remember whenever we went out loads. I never ever felt like you were a trouble. You never, because you didn't even really drink when we went out. Because I don't drink. You were so.
Well, I think when that girl.
But I think there's an element like
when that girl said something to you.
Oh yeah, I was like, done. It's done. Don't worry about it. Get back. But so I know you ready. You were ready. You could handle yourself. I never felt like I had to, look after you like I do everybody. I'm like this person, like, oh, I need to look after this person. I didn't have that vibe with you. You can handle yourself. I'd never worry about that. But I never, ever, because I don't think I'd have ever really gave you the time of day if I thought that you were that. Because I did not see any of what you're saying. It's actually confusing me.
But I think most of the time what happens is when people sort of, like, I think when people look at other people. So, for example, there's been time where, like, even I've been with you and you looked at someone and you thought, oh, jeez, they look
my face says a lot.
But of course, but again, I think it's more if you see someone and it is potentially going to trigger something in yourself. So, for example, there's times where the 19-year-old me, if I had seen someone, a certain type of person, I might have been like a bit afraid. Now that, of course, I'm older and I understand that, okay, these things don't actually mean anything, I might look at the same person and be like, okay, you just stay. You know what I mean? Because especially when sometimes, if I've seen someone that I knew that I went to school with, and they now look like this image of this persona, this person, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, okay, so I know this person there's nothing scary about them at all. But if this was a 19-year-old me looking at this person, I would have been shitting my pants. But there's an element, I think, let's say, when people are seeing Georgia now, if there's an element they are like, if they tend to be a bit more intimidated by someone who isn't smiling and being like, oh, hey, and they're kind of,
that's not me.
Do you know what I mean? So there's an element, if they see you, they're immediately going to be, whereas because you're not like that, because of course you can have a resting bitch face as well, especially if you're in nightclubs.
I think as well.
Yeah, but 100% I put that on because I don't want to talk to no one. I don't want you yapping. And again, let's not talk about nightclubs. How many years has it been since I've been in one, mate? About 10.
I think as well, there's certain people that just see you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, energetically, they just see you.
Yeah.
And again, I met you before, like, my first heartbreak and whatever.
Yeah.
And I do think after that first heartbreak, those walls went up, like, with everyone. Like, you're not going to hurt me anymore.
Yeah.
No one is going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Whereas you were before that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think, I don't know, maybe it was I was new as well when we first met to where we worked.
Yeah.
And I was getting out of the car, probably felt a bit nervous, a bit vulnerable, and that mask slipped.
Yeah.
And you've obviously seen it and be like, oh, you're bounding up to me. I'm thinking, oh, motherfucker,
I think even if you had the scary face, I'm quite invasive. I'm like, blah, blah, talk to me. So I probably would have still done that. But I mean, as in your characteristics that you're talking about, that I just didn't see those. Because I think if I saw those, I would have been more like...
Yeah, but that's why I think you've seen me. Like, very few people see me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm trying to... Or I am.
Trying to get more people to see.
Trying is not a good word.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's what I am working on, is allowing people in to see who I am.
Yeah.
Because I'm soft as shit. Yeah. Yes, okay, I'm a logical thinker like you. I tend to, most situations, when they happen, I'm like logical head first, emotions later.
Oh, yeah, it's complete opposite to that.
Where sometimes can't help it, emotions come in first. I'm human, for God's sake. But I think being that logical person, sometimes it comes across as cold.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes across as, oh, this person doesn't actually fucking care.
Yeah.
Whereas I care deeply. Like, I love deeply. And this relationship that I'm in now has taught me that I can love deeply because, as I was saying, after my first heartbreak, those walls went up and I didn't love that. I didn't allow love like that, apart from Jack, my son. But with this relationship, it's sort of like, right, soften up.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's happened, but it has. And maybe this is what this relationship is teaching me, is that, yes, I can be in my feminine energy.
Yeah.
I can be soft. I can love hard and I can love deep. And I can let people see who I am.
Yeah.
Because it's not a bad thing. And I'd rather, you know, hopefully this relationship is my last and whatever. But even if it's not, I know that my emotions are there and my emotions are strong and my feelings are strong.
Yeah.
And I'd rather feel heartbreak and know that I can feel than not feel heartbreak and just have that stoic coldness,
it's
numbness.
What they say, it's better to have loved and lost than to never loved at all. Do you know what I mean? And it is it's very
because
true.
that numb feeling for me brings up a lot of bad memories and trauma based. You know, when I was depressed and whatever, that feeling of numbness and not caring about anything was the worst feeling in the world. Even if it didn't, it wasn't even a feeling at the time. I just didn't know. I didn't care. Didn't want to know.
You was in a really, really bad place.
Really bad place, and that numbness. If I feel numb towards something, it's sort of like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose these feelings because even if they're shit feelings at the time, at least I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas numbness to me, I associate immediately depression.
Well, I think it is that I think
you know?
I think if you're that desensitized to something or you're numb to it, that's very different to being upset about something or being happy about something. Because I think
because
you've always said that, haven't you? You said when I stop, you said if I ever stop arguing about these things
at that point,
it's a problem.
And I'm exactly the same as that. When I go quiet, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
because that means I no longer put the energy in, won't put the effort in, I'm losing interest or I've lost interest, it's done.
Yeah.
And I'm the sort of person that can't get it back either.
Yeah. Well, like,
the friends that I've lost in the past, even if it's been on like okay terms, whatever, it doesn't have to be a massive fallout, just we've grown apart, whatever. I will never ever, if they came back into my life, that relationship will never be as it was again. Because it's been and gone.
Yeah.
It happened for a reason.
Yeah.
It's never going to go back to how it was.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anything can go back to how it was after time apart and whatever.
Yeah.
And if it does, and it's good, that means it's got better. It's not going to stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
It can go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if that friend came back in my life and was really apologetic for whatever happened, or not even apologetic, just been like, look,
accountability.
Let's be straight up.
Yeah.
We grew apart. You know, I had something to do with it. You had something to do with it. Let's just hash it out, talk it out.
Yeah.
Let's be brutally honest with each other. Like, you did this that I didn't like. You said these things. I've done this. I've done that. I'm taking accountability. And we're both straight up about it. I would be like, okay, maybe this could work, and it would be even better than previously.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 that doesn't happen.
I was going to say because you need to you
need to take responsibility for it.
And they'd basically have to be a completely different version of themselves and who they were when the initial situation happened.
I found relationships that happens more so, and it gets better because you both want it to work romantically.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've both got to put effort in. And, you know, if you've had time apart or whatever, and then you both come together and like, look, this can't keep happening. Or, you know, we've had time apart. I've now realised that this isn't for me. And walk away. Fine. Or I've realised, actually, this is for me, but we need to
work on.
Both of us need to work on it. And, you know, that to me, it will never be the same. It will be better.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it can be like, actually, I'm not going to take responsibility for this. I'm not going to take accountability for this. You're to blame. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to see my own bullshit in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it all on you.
Yeah.
That to me is like, fuck no.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Because it always takes two.
Yeah.
Every situation, there is always two sides, two perspectives.
And I like to think I'm self-aware enough to catch it in the moment. But even if I'm not and someone points it out to me, I like to think it might take me a little while to come round to it.
Yeah.
But I like to think, okay, I can see where you're coming from. I can see your perspective.
Yeah.
I can see your perspective. So there's always your perspective, their perspective, and the truth, the actual truth of what's happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes the truth is a mixture of both.
Yeah. I think most of the time it is. Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that is true.
I'm saying that.
What are you looking over here for?
I'm not doing
The perspective over here. Check your perspective over there on your side. Check my perspective.
Here you go, see that level of aggression, see he's putting that energy out there.
But with perspective as well, I have found, again, on my growth journey, healing journey, whatever you want to fucking call it. I hate calling it that because it sounds fucking
I know it sounds
stupid.
But it's the truth.
On my journey, where before I would only see my perspective and that's it. Like, it's my way or the highway, like, fuck off otherwise. Whereas now, even if it does take me a little while to be like, right, okay, I will hear someone else's perspective.
Yeah.
I always know there's another side to this story. There's another perspective to this story. There's another set of feelings in this story.
Yeah.
Or sets of feelings in this story, whatever. And it's not just me. I'm not the only one in it. And I'm choosing to take the bits that I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm choosing to hear them in a certain way.
Yeah.
And so is the other person.
And I think in situations, I'm a nightmare for, I don't know. I don't remember nothing. Because if I'm emotional about something, which lo and behold, if I'm having an argument, I'm going to feel some type of way about it. Do you know what I mean? I will never remember. He'd say, well, what did I say then? Well, I don't bloody know. You said something that I didn't like, that's for sure. Because I don't remember the exact wording because I'm not, whereas you would remember everything word for word, or you say you claim you do, maybe you probably are just making that up.
He's thinking, you can't fucking remember, so I'm going to make that up. I'm going to gaslight you, bitch.
That's exactly it, mate. He's going to remember for both of us and he's going to put that narrative out there and it's like, that's what you said, bitch.
I think it's a thing of like, I think we argue for different reasons. Not just, I'm saying about people.
Yeah.
I think sometimes argue from a point of respect or disrespect. Some people argue from a standpoint of feelings and emotions. And
that's where we're completely different, isn't it? Because you always say you're always in your feelings on how you feel about whatever it is at the time. Yeah. But then I'm also like, well, you know that. Because that's who I am. Yeah. And that is part of who I am. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be any different.
I always find that, and this is going to sound a bit strange, when you two argue, there is always... I don't know if genuine reason is the right wording, but you don't argue for the drama. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, God,
a lot of couples that I know add arguments for spice.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
And the toxicness of it because it excites them. Let's be honest.
There's no excitement in arguing with this guy.
I used to be like that. I used to start arguments for that drama. So I could be like, oh, I'm going to play the victim now. And
see, I can't even deal with that.
You're going to chase me. Like, oh, no, I can't now. But I used to be like that. So
we never did that, though. We never had that situation.
A mile off. Like, if someone's doing it to me or I can see it happening in front of me, I'm like, I know exactly what's
going on.
You
obviously got my vibe because you've never done that shit to me. No. Never in life has that ever happened.
Never.
I think if you have a genuine relationship, then there's no need for that. If the relationship isn't genuine, then there's almost an element that's the only thing that's going to prop it up. Because I think if I don't genuinely want to hang around with you, then there's an element that we need to keep something between us. And I think if it's not, if I can't just come and sit with you and be like, "Yo, how you doing?" and we can't just like, it's like couples that need to be doing something exciting to be like, they can't go for a walk. They have to go for a walk. They have to go to Paris. They have to go to this. They couldn't just sit and chat or just go and sort of people watch, because the reality is there's nothing there. So it's almost as if like we need something cosmetic to keep this going, because otherwise, and it's almost like.
Whereas my trouble is with negative energy like that affects my life so much. Like I can't have that around, so I have to either get it resolved.
A big empath.
I'm so empathetic. I'm so like.
Whereas I'm not really. You know, if you were, well, we prove it, don't we? When you're feeling upset, I always text you, even without knowing. Yeah, and you've done it to me recently. Yeah, snap. You text me, "Hey, love you, miss you." Yeah. When I've needed someone the most, it's like I don't know. Feel like with you and my other close friends, there's just a knowing. Yeah. There's a knowing that, because I don't think I've argued properly with my other close friends either, like ever. But again, I think that's because there's so much respect there. Yeah, it would never happen. Much. Because I think we all appreciate each other's honesty and thoughts and feelings about stuff. Like, listen, you've done something. I don't really like it. Like you used to do with me. You're behaving this way. It's not you. What are you doing? Yeah. But I know you weren't doing it to get at me. You were doing it to fucking be better, Georgia. No, well, I think because that's what I used to say to you. I was just like, but if you want a certain outcome, if you do that, you're not going to get the outcome in the long run, because it's gonna tarnish you as a person, and this isn't you as a person, and then you're not going to get the great things later on down the line. Yeah. And I think, absolutely. But we've never had. But because there's a respect there, and I respect everything that comes out your mouth, whether it's emotional, whatever. Yeah, but I've never once listened to you and thought, shut the fuck up. Not once, ever. No, I've never had that. Like, never ever have I, with you, with my other close friends, but with you especially, because you've been there from the beginning of my beginning of my journey. And I think I force deepness. That's the trouble, though, isn't it? Because I'm quite a deep person. Yeah, but so am I. Deepness. Oh, yeah, you are, definitely. Yeah, massively. And I need that. I shallow people, can't stand them.
Yeah,
you need depth. You need layers.
But that's not, I can't stand them. I just can't stand the fact that they feel the need to be shallow. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a mask. Yep.
Yes.
Let it down.
Yeah.
I do it as well. If I'm uncomfortable, that mask goes on and I'm like, oh, yeah, let's talk about the weather. Oh, yeah. I don't give a fuck about the weather. Yeah. Because you're not my people.
Yeah.
I do. I know what you mean. I do that when I'm at work, mainly. But I mean, it's mainly because sometimes there's an element like I feel like if I'm almost doing this mask for your benefit, because if we start talking,
because they won't be able to handle it.
I'll end up telling you you're an idiot, because some of the shit that people do.
But this is what I say to Phil, though. This is the one thing that annoys me about him. He has such great things in there to help so many others, that you could help so many people with just, I don't know, washing that little bit of aggression down a little bit, and your delivery, that more people would be able to hear it, and you'd be able to then deliver it. Whereas at the moment you can't deliver it because your delivery is so abrupt.
I don't think that what happens is this: you grow up when you're a certain way, and whatever trait you have, whether it's a good one, negative, or just in the middle one, whatever it is, it gets fed as you grow, and depending on how it gets fed. Whichever one of your traits gets fed, whichever one gets fed the most, that one just. And I think when you meet people that are clearly.
So what were you fed the most?
Blunt honesty. Blunt honesty. There was never a case of.
Yeah, so I was mollycoddled.
I was
a mollycoddled.
When I was younger, I was I used to be a really chubby kid, and Josh was relentless in saying. Call me fat or call me a big head or whatever it is, and again I'd see it from in the sense of Steve would be very blunt with Emmanuel would be very blunt with Josh, and it would just filter down that way. There was never, no one fluffed anybody up. Do you know what I mean? Nobody ever sort of tried to mollycoddle people in a way that's, you know what I mean?
Well, you had quite your upbringing's quite direct as well, wasn't it? Yeah. Whereas I suppose I was the opposite. Yeah.
She's very direct.
Very direct.
But I appreciate that now that I'm older. When I was a teenager, I was a bit like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But now...
And the thing is that I can imagine, again, for me it's slightly different because I come from a big family. I can imagine if you don't have a lot of siblings, because I think...
being the only girl.
I think that's the other thing, because I think the way it was like, it was easy for us to... It was just became the norm, and no one took it sort of personal in a way, like, you hurt my feelings.
All of you,
because I'm watching like when Josh is giving me the business, I'm seeing Emmanuel giving it to him, and then when you go around the cousins and everyone just let it was just a case of okay.
Well, no, because I find it so funny, because when you have family situations, I literally am like, my goodness, people in my family wouldn't speak for 3 weeks. I don't think there'd have to be a full on apology, but it's literally like meh, and then literally done. See you later, bruv. Yeah,
but the thing is, it's interesting because now that we're out of them environments, there's an element that I know that if I was don't get me wrong, we still kind of let each other have it, but I can see right now if I went too deep with certain situations, and I said to one of my older siblings, I said, "You're this," it wouldn't go the way it would have done when we were younger. When I guess the stakes seem a bit lower, because they've all come out of that environment where they're not constantly sort of.
You haven't changed. That's the thing. That's the reality.
I do see your point on, when you say you've got a lot of knowledge to help other people.
Mm-hmm.
Me, and again, this is something that I'm working on. What? They're not my fucking responsibility.
No, but you have so much that you can... Yeah, but
the thing is, I feel
we're
like
all
if
in
you
this together.
Yeah,
okay,
but I feel
this
like
is one
world.
I've not got the time to waste on other people.
But I always get the vibe. It's like
that's not close to me.
The thing is...
Oh, honey, I would be in Tesco's, mate, and if somebody needed me... Oh, wow.
I know you would.
Yeah,
to me...
I tell you what, I think some people are leeches. They want to just... Like, I've heard... you ever give... Like, someone said they've got a problem, and you give them advice, and then you can always see the advice.
It's not even going in.
It's just...
Yeah.
And then they always shoot away.
I wouldn't class myself as stupid. So if I felt that situation was happening, I would be like, okay, that's obviously not going to be...
With you, there's a genuine need to... I want to help you.
Yeah, you want to help.
Yeah.
But I think these people... But the thing is that you're one of those people that you're a very nice person. So if you get somebody who is like who whether they're doing it on purpose or not, they are kind of in a victim mentality. When they come across someone like you, they're like, oh my god, this person really wants to... They care of me. They want to help me.
I'm going to make it sound worse than it is.
But they just focus on that bit, and they're like, I like hearing this person tell me that I'm not a sack of wine, and I'm not a loser, whatever it is. And I think they just feed off that bit. That the advice that you give them to try and help themselves, they then just I'm going to ignore that. That's too much hard work.
But see, I'm also not...
But I love this...
Then when I engage with them the next time and ain't done shit all to help themselves, I ain't going to waste my time with that shit. That's when I'll then tell them, I told you before. This is what you need to do.
I just jump straight to that bit. And I'm like... Okay,
so I start off steady.
Are you fucking dumb?
Yeah. Literally.
But it's like yesterday earlier when we were on the walk, I feel like if you have to give someone advice, there's no point in giving it because they're not going to take it, and anybody who is going to take your advice doesn't need your advice because they'd already been doing it. So I think also I don't care. You
know what?
Unless
I can tell everybody watching this
like,
podcast that he genuinely doesn't care. Because even he says it to me. He's like, I just don't have that care to give to the situation.
One time, this guy was talking about like, it's like some guy who was like, is the mother of his kid, and I was like, oh, I didn't see my kid, this and the other. And he was telling me, and there's the thing is, the logical part of me was like, okay, yeah, you should probably do this because, and again, I'm going to give him advice that
I think the only reason he listens in these situations is so he's got it in the back to tell his friends or to tell me in a funny sense because this guy's a joker. He's not listening for any other reason other than I'm going to bank that for later.
He was going into it and he was like, oh yeah, about this and this and that. And at one point I was like, I don't give a shit, bro. Like as soon as lunch, like I think lunch break was coming, I'm like, bro, I couldn't give a shit, but I'm just thinking of warming up my chicken and then eating it. I don't give a shit about you and your baby mom problems because you're an idiot. Like the fact that you can't see it, you're a swine. You're an idiot.
I'm not as bad as that. But like, if someone random is talking about their problems and you can sense that they're dramatising it or whatever,
I don't feel like I'm stupid.
I've got no care at all.
Oh no, I feel like if somebody was
come to me
being dramatic, then that's different. If somebody
I don't think you're ever dramatic. I mean, you've got a way with words, but when you come to me, I know it's genuine. I know what you're saying is what you're feeling, and you're not trying to dramatise it and make it, oh, I'm a victim, blah, blah, blah. I know that. I've got a lot of time for you. I've got a lot of time for Phil. I've got a lot of time for the people that I'm close to, and that's very few people. But when there's like a friend of a friend of a friend in the room that's like telling everyone about
just
something,
waffling,
and it's you're trying to... I'll be like, poor you.
Oh, see, but I haven't got time for that. No, but see, I don't have time for that. And I feel like I will sense that quickly. I can read a room, and I can read. If you're going to try and mug me, mate, try and get some fucking sympathy out of me and not help yourself. I ain't got time for that. That's long unnecessary, and you're wasting my time. Yeah, that's a you problem. And again, you don't need my help because you don't need help. You just need to help yourself and you sort your fucking life out. Yeah, you do. You need to help yourself. Like, there's no one that can help you. Yeah. So I feel like I can sit. I'm not. I don't just sit there and like, oh yeah, let everyone cry me a river. Let's all just no, kumbaya. We're not doing that.
Yeah, I've again on this journey that I've been on as well. One of the biggest skills that I've learned, that again I had to call myself out on my own shit. Before, I used to listen to respond to people. So if you were telling me a story, not necessarily you, because I wouldn't have done it to you, but other people that I couldn't really give a shit what you're saying. But if I can one-up you, I will. If I can, if you're Tenerife, I'm 11erife. Do you know what I mean? If they were talking to me, I'd be like,
this guy.
I'd be like,
that's you, Phil.
If you're Tenerife, I'm in 11erife, and I'm going to one-up you. Oh, you've had a bad time. Listen to my fucking bad time. Do you know what I mean? That's what I used to do.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not necessarily you, but you are one-up on the
But like now I listen to hear people. I feel like that's a much more... And again, some people find it cold. That when they speak to me and I'm just sitting there like... I'm not doing it because I'm disinterested.
No.
Well, I am sometimes. But, I mean, people that I genuinely care about, I'm listening because I'm taking in everything that you're saying.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cut you off, and I don't want to be like, well, in that situation, I'll do this, because that's me just listening because I like the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm listening to here, I'm sort of feeling exactly how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I'm taking in everything that you've told me. I'm processing it.
Right, so what one am I?
I think you are a very empathetic person, and I think you're a sort of person where,
because I'm thinking,
I think you care.
Am I this person?
I think you care a lot, because when someone says to you that when someone says they're going through something, or someone says that they've been cheated on, or something bad happened to them, you generally are like, you respond to it in a way
as if you're going through it.
Yeah, as if you're going through it, and you say, and I think that's
very angry.
And I think it's the same way in the sense of like,
way too passionate.
I think when I first met you, you would have been a bit more idealistic with your advice, whereas now you're a lot more realistic, but it's still you. And I think
I don't see you. If someone had come up to you and said, "Oh, my husband's cheated on me," I could not see you, because this is not you, listening to respond just to say, "Oh, well, do you know what? My friend went through that, and this is what happened to her."
Oh,
that's listening to respond.
That's listening.
I don't do telling that. Another story and making it even worse.
Oh, good grief! No, that's not me. Yeah. I understand now, because I was thinking to myself, well, I'll definitely respond, because I'll tell these motherfuckers that you deserve better than that.
You are, and again, I think it's quite rare to come across where people are genuinely listening to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes we do it where we're not listening at all because we couldn't give a fuck. But people that we care about, we will sit there and listen to them.
Yeah, because I think
really listen to them.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that, like, me personally, like, I don't like. It's not that I don't like my time wasted, but I don't see
the need.
Like, because I feel like one time I was with myself, if I had enough money, enough time, I'd start up this hotline where basically you'd call up and you tell me about the dumb shit you've done, and I say you're an idiot, and then I'd hang up.
Oh, you sound like the... Oh, is it the guy from the Snickers? The Snickers advert.
What was it?
What did he say? What was his line? Is that... Have I got it wrong?
Well, you think it says Snickers, get some nuts?
No, maybe it's not. maybe it's not him. I'm trying to think of somebody. So there's somebody that does that, but not that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, because I think I can't remember what it is, but you're right. There is
somebody that basically, like, they just basically just tell you you're stupid.
About gold in it.
I think it's
somebody just. Who is it that just basically makes it? They just basically say, "Well, you're dumb and stupid." Basically, it's not said like that, but.
I don't know, but I know what you mean. Though,
yeah, there's definitely something.
I've seen it somewhere, but honestly, I'd love to. And the thing is, you'd have to pay. You'd call up.
That's that guy that you told us that basically the girl will reel off what's happened, and she's just like, "I want the guy that's gonna give me all this money." Or whatever.
Oh no, that was it. There was the guy he died. I think his name is Kevin Samuel.
He died.
Yeah, like in his picture, he's just like
what recent?
Yeah,
because you. Oh wait, what, the guy with the glasses?
Yes, that guy.
Good grief.
Yeah, he's basically just letting people have it. They call up and they're like,
awful.
I can't find a man, I can't find this and that. And then they basically do this questionnaire where it's like, okay. Like a woman will call up and she's like, yeah, I can't find any good men out here. And they'll be like, okay, how much do you weigh? How old are you? Do you have any kids? Do you have any there? And they'll be like, well, you're down here in the market, that's what you need to look for. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
He was savage. He actually died though. Let's not brief over that. That's really, he was quite young.
Relatively young.
I say relatively young, he's in his 50s.
You know Laura is, yeah. Laura's one of the people like Kevin Samuels, I think he died last year. Was it last year?
Oh, that's so sad. You just never told me about that. You just never told me.
It's all on the internet.
I don't go on the internet like that, darling. I don't.
What is the internet?
I don't look at it. What?
Technophobe.
How would I see that?
One time I said a reference from like The Simpsons, and Laura was like, what you on about? I need to kick her in the shin.
There's a lot of things that he said. No, but there's a lot of lingo that I ain't down with the kids with, so I am a clue, mate.
You are an 80-year-old woman.
I am. I'm so out of touch with so much. Yeah, I'm so hilarious. I don't even know what
I can tag her on Facebook on something. She replies like 5 days later. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wow, Laura's tagged me in something. It's like, oh, no, she's replying to the comment that I put 5 days ago.
I'm so bad, yeah, because he says to me all the time, he sends me videos every day. So have you seen that one? I was like, I'm 3 weeks behind, darling. I've not seen it yet. No, which one are you talking about?
You're 16 of them. Jesus.
Yeah, no, I'm a nightmare.
But no, honestly, I honestly would love that. Just that you'd call up and you have to pay, and then you'd say something, and I was just like, you're an idiot. It's your fault. You're dumb. And then I'd hang up. I wouldn't even give you a chance to respond back.
Darling, I think there's so much negative out there, something bad's going to happen.
I feel like sometimes some people. I feel like sometimes.
Be nice.
But I feel like even myself. Like, for example, like when I went out canvassing the other day in London, yesterday, so I've come back, and bear in mind, I've done 1 day in canvassing in London. Not for a month, not for a week, but I've done 1 day. And I'm like, okay, if I get lucky, I might get back home, might be an email. And it wasn't.
Oh yeah, you were a pipe dreamer, mate.
So naturally, again, I know that I have enough self-awareness to know that this is just my brain going through the motions.
You run before
it's not real. I'm gonna kick you in the shin. I swear to God.
Oh, sorry. I'm just saying the fact.
No, mate. Like,
you're right, dishing it. You said something could call up. You're gonna reel
it. Anyway, about the shins.
Oh no, don't kick in.
Right in the shins.
No, don't. She doesn't like shins. Stop talking about it.
What do you mean you don't like shins?
That's another podcast.
No, that's another podcast. Don't talk about that.
That counts in that.
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, no, it's a phobia. Stop it. No, but listen.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. It's like my sick phobia. Don't be horrible. Listen, stop. You cannot sit there and say people can call you up.
You can't go from shins. Wait a minute.
Stop. You can't say people can call up. I'm going to let them have it. And I say. No,
I'm in the middle. You're just peppering the sauce of.
Yeah, but you can handle it, can't you? You can handle it, can't you, son?
Yeah, let me say. I'm saying it.
Come on.
But but again, like I said, I'm aware that this is just my brain going through the motions of. And again, I know that within a day, I'm going to be like, chill the fuck out.
Chill out, yeah.
But there's an element that like, I like, I'll be like, what am I supposed to do? Have I tried this? I've tried to try that. But there's an element I know there comes a point where the other version of myself that has more common sense has to say to me, sit the fuck down. Like you've done fuck all. Yeah. Shut your mouth or quit. Just be quiet. Stop whinging and whining about it. And again, I've got to a point where I hate whinges. So you never hear me complain vocally. It's always it's here. I let it go for the motions, then I go past it. But there's an element I feel like
I don't think I've ever heard you moan.
No, I feel like there's an element we all need someone to tell us at some point in life you're being an idiot. And again, it's not even that. I don't think it's like a case of because sometimes people are in situations where I don't even think they even want to even change the situation that they're in.
Yeah.
But because we have that thing that we love to just moan and complain.
Yeah.
And we want to play that victim mentality. We want to feel like as if, it's not my fault I'm here, or I don't want to be here, or whatever it is. There's an element of like, I don't know. I think if you don't have anybody to kind of really give you that that just raw, blunted, you're being a whiny little bitch.
I think as well, it, you know, with you two, because you spend a lot of time together, sometimes that bluntness is overlooked as well, because it's you're used to it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, sometimes I could walk in and be like, Phil, come on, mate.
That's true. Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. Or, you know, if I haven't seen you for a long time, we haven't spoken for a long time, which we wouldn't do anyway. Like, Laura, come on, mate. Chill out. Whereas if you'd have said that the night before, you'd have been like, fuck off.
Oh yeah, he won't hear it from me. Yeah. He won't hear a damn thing from me. He's gonna hear it himself when he's ready. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not gonna hear it from me.
But if someone else says it, then maybe you think, oh, actually.
Oh yeah, he'd listen to you over me, mate. I'll tell you that for free.
I think the people you spend a lot of time with and you talk to a lot and whatever, sometimes what they say, it's not that you don't believe it, it's sort of like, oh, I've heard this already.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone else comes in...
Yeah.
Well, it's almost if you can get like an unbiased...
Yeah.
What seems like an unbiased narrative from an outside party, then you're like, oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you were going through that thing with your previous employer.
Yeah. Yep.
And I was trying to be as straight with you as possible.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Don't do that. You're the one that wants to do this podcast, mate, and you're the one with the microphone right there.
Try to be as straight with you as possible. Like, it could go this way, it could go this way.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Rather than fluff it up and be like, oh, no, you should definitely go for it because of, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be that person. I'm trying to be right, I'll give you the truth. It can go left, it can go right, or it can go down the middle.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I think having be able to, that situation like that, having someone around you be able to tell you these things, because that went on for quite a while. Because later on, we did get to a point where we're like, oh, Jesus, we just, do you know what I mean? But I got to a point where I was like, you know, win or lose,
yeah,
I'm just gonna see this through,
towards
the end, and even if I had to go to a point of I had to go and represent myself,
but even to the point that you weren't going to do anything.
No, I wasn't. Initially,
it was only me being like, this isn't right.
Not right.
It's not acceptable. You need to do something about it. That you were then like, oh, okay, and then like you say, you see it through. But yeah, I don't have a point. I don't know. I feel like what's happening here is for 3 hours, and I feel like we can wrap it. Because do you know what? I'm going to let you know, my stomach is hungry. I need a bit of food up in here.
But no.
Good cup of tea.
Nah,
all right. No, but don't chuck that shade over here, bitch. Okay, it was dark. Okay, I didn't know how much I squeezed that bag. That bag could have been squeezed some more.
I'm not being funny. Why are you making tea in the dark?
4 minutes. I'm going to answer that.
I know. I think you should.
No, I'm not going to answer
that. You remember that time we went to Greece?
Darling, you start cussing out my tea. Jesus. Nobody needs to hear it, mate.
Do you remember 10 years ago? Bring that up now.
Oh, no, he is that guy, mate. He is that guy.
And we went into that place that was like a rooftop place.
Yeah.
Where they had goat's milk.
Oh, it's disgusting.
I feel that tastes like.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what I can say to that? Make your own damn tea next time. Make your own damn tea. Do you like my rocking as well? Make your own damn tea next time.
I'm gonna end it right there. That's the last thing everyone's gonna hear.
If you do that, don't be a prick. Are you not rounding it? Is that it? Okay. Peace. Is that what we're doing?
No, I should run it. Okay, I'll tell you what. That's final thoughts.
Oh, Jesus, man. Why'd you do this? I don't like tests. I told you that the last time we did one. I thought it's test conditions. GCSE. Yeah, you should grade it.
Final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts.
Your final
exactly
thoughts.
On what, mate? We've went round all the houses and we've heard all the arguments.
No. Okay. I'll say. Final thoughts on sort of on what it really takes to actually grow and actually become the better version of yourself.
Okay, I'll keep this short because I could talk about this all night.
Another 10 minutes each of us.
I think what it takes is you've got to be brutally honest with yourself, and that is taking accountability for your own bullshit as well. You know, we are not perfect humans, no one is, and the sooner we realise that in ourselves, and actually I'm part of my own problem, and I do act like this, I do talk like this, I make decisions and blame other people when it's actually me. I think that's it's the hardest step.
Yeah.
It's the hardest step, but it's the first step of, okay, I am responsible. I've got the responsibility of how I feel and how I act. You know, no one can make me punch them in the face.
Yeah.
That is me
but that
choosing.
Is the first step to the rest of your life, really, because until you do that,
fully accept that, because a lot of people will be like, yeah, okay, I know I acted like that, but then they revert back to it.
Oh yeah, but they don't fully actually feel it. They don't really
they don't
think,
really
I'm actually
feel, I'm actually gonna, I need to change. Whereas I got to that point where I was so anxious, and again, it took something big for me, like being pregnant, to, I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that mum that sits in a corner and rocks because I'm so anxious and I don't know what to do in my life.
Yeah.
It took me up until that moment to think, actually, I don't want to live like this.
Yeah, I've got to do something.
I've got to do something. Maybe it won't take as much for other people, but I feel that it was literally a shift in awareness there and then. Like, if I carry on how I'm going, I'm going to be that mum that is not well mentally, you know? And that's what it took for me. But it was that first step of, well, I put myself in these situations. I think these negative thoughts about myself. I act out. I act unreasonable. Sometimes I still do now, but not on that level.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start to accept that we're not perfect and we are all human and we all wear masks, and 9 times out of 10 we're not who we are in front of anyone else. It's right, okay, now I can start to unpick trauma. I can unpick life experiences that have caused me not even harm. Sometimes it's, I can unpick how that changed me, or pinpoint where it changed, because a lot of my stuff that I worked through, I wouldn't have even dreamed that that's where it come from.
No.
There's been, and it was sort of like a spiritual, on this like journey that I did, where I went into a trance, and it took me back to a time when I was like 6 years old, and something had happened, nothing like major, but there was either like a shift there, as for me as a 6-year-old, that, or 6, 7, whatever, that changed my way of thinking. And it imprinted on me. And I carried that until that point of, oh, I'm not feeling seen, I'm not feeling heard. I wouldn't have ever dreamed that that was the moment that happened. So when you can start to unpick stuff and accept that we are responsible for our own shit, I think that's the first step, and that is the hardest step, and I commend anyone that does it, because it's not pretty. It's not, oh, let's go to a gong bath and let's close our eyes and meditate, and because meditating is the fucking hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I've tried it, mate. I can't even do it.
I just start thinking about other shit.
I just think about thinking.
But people think, oh, you close your eyes and that's it, and you listen to nice music. You've got to try and force every single thought out of your mind. And
the thought of thinking, I'm really sure I'm thinking.
In a monologue all the time is you can't just. I still can't really do it now.
Nah, I find it really hard,
and it is one of the hardest things I've ever tried to do. So it's not all like, oh, put fucking petals in your hair, and that's not what healing is. Healing is one of the fucking messiest things I've ever done in my life.
Yes, it's the hard. It is going to be the hard.
And
one
it's
of
a
the
lot of
hardest
tears.
Things. Yeah,
it's a lot of panic. Yeah, it's a lot of fear.
You have to face a lot.
It's a lot of loss as well. Like losing your old self is a scary thing to do, whether you're a good person or a bad person.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're letting go of who you are, who you've always known yourself.
Your
to be.
identity. Yeah.
Exactly, and you're creating something new, which again is scary. It's a lot of fucking hell. I've cried so much, but it's all release.
Yeah,
it all needs to be released.
You need it. Yeah,
and as I've said, more recently, I've learnt to, and look how fucking long it's taken me to allow my own emotions, because I shut them off. Yeah. It's a slow burning thing. It's not I'm going to take a month out and have a bath every night.
Yeah, no.
That's not what healing is.
It's not. It's years and years of work. It's years and
rest is different to healing.
Yeah.
And like we've said before, healing is a continuous. It will never stop.
It will never stop.
Any final thoughts?
Oh, damn. Well, she said. Yeah, no, I think, like, what's the question again?
Final thoughts on actually growing and becoming that better version of yourself.
Yeah, you just have to face so much, and there's always going to come moments in your life that you're going to be faced with, and you're going to potentially be humbled, potentially, you know, go, oh, okay, actually, you know, like I remember with myself when I ended up with panic attacks, I used to have so much opinion about other people with mental health situations, like, why can't they just eat? Why can't they do this? Why can't they do that?
Calm down.
Yeah. And then I literally ended up with panic attacks and then just got absolutely humbled. And then basically gone, oh, okay, actually, realistically,
it's funny you say that, actually, because every time I have like a judgmental thought, it happens to me.
Oh, really?
Because I bring it on myself.
Yeah.
Because I think, oh, why are they doing that? And then all of a sudden, it happens to me. And I don't know if that's me. I don't believe in coincidences.
No.
I think that's whoever.
Oh, yeah, I think it needs to happen. You need to get those lessons.
You're gonna learn today.
You're going to learn today. And I learned a lot in a lot of days with that, because it took me 2 years. And I genuinely now, I'm like, what on earth? Who was I? You talk too much nonsense. Shut up and sit down. So I think that, you know, you have to embark on all of those journeys and take the lessons when they come, because you're going to need to listen and learn. And you know, I've had loads of different lessons through my time with you and through life and just in general. And you just got to embrace it and go with it. And it's going to be hard. And even now, I'm nowhere near a finished product. I think it's going to be forever a journey. But I think there are things that I know I have to face, that I'm scared to face, you know, and they're things that I'm going to have to make sure that I do to become the best version of myself.
Yeah, there's a song by J. Cole, Love Yours.
Yes, that's a good song.
That
I might know it, darling, but I'm terrible with names and terrible with people, so
it might not be on a playlist, darling, that you like.
Darling, I have no idea. If that song could be one of my favourites.
If I could try and put into words quickly what sort of healing and what your own journey is, I would say that song. Yeah. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because show me the song after.
Well, my favourite lyric in it is there's beauty in the pain.
Yeah.
Beauty in the struggle, isn't there?
Mm-hmm, yeah. Because I remember when we went to see him in Birmingham, and before like he did the song, he kind of like spoke about it a little bit, and it was, it is.
And that's, you know, obviously I read tarot and stuff, and when stuff comes up that might be a little bit painful, I always try and gently tell people, you know, it might be painful, but when you come out of that pain, you will see that you've grown so much stronger as a person, and there is beauty in the pain. There's beauty in the struggle, because you as a person, you armor up. You know, you're then given the tools that when something else happens, you've got them tools ready and you can go. That is so the beauty scary. Of it.
It's so scary to face some of those things. I struggle with, you know, certain situations, and but you do know that when you've been sent
you've got it in your armour.
Yeah, you are then more capable of facing it after.
Absolutely.
Your final thoughts?
I'll tell you my final thoughts, huh? Start my hotline. 0800 pity party, and I call you a dumbass. It's gonna go $300, £300 a minute.
Let's get ready for the hate mail.
No, I think it is.
I think that's it. I don't think you could say anything else after that, because anything you say, no one's going to listen to, because they're going to be like, this dick over here.
I think if you don't call yourself on your bullshit at least once a year, then you're.
Well, I'm really looking forward to when this podcast finishes, because you're going to call yourself on your bullshit. What people are going to say from this podcast is, this woman is very angry towards her husband.
To be fair, I don't think you don't have to necessarily publicise to everybody, but I think in your own deepest, darkest moments, you've got to ask yourself, okay, whatever it is I'm unhappy about, is it warranted? What did I do to get here? And even if they say you did nothing to, you know, put yourself in that situation, let's say the bad situation just fell on you, are you doing anything to try and sort of bring yourself out of it? No.
And why is it happening?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And again, this is a disclaimer. You know, if you've got some terminal illness, that's obviously separate from this that I'm talking about, you know, a bad breakup or some shit like that, or if you lost your job. In terms of things,
a lot of people look at those two situations is quite major, darling.
No, but you can get another job.
You can compartmentalize.
I get what you're saying. Like it's flipping your language of why is this happening to me to.
Like it was this like
for what reason?
Like for example, it's like
me?
Like for example, like my thing about me going and canvassing in London and feeling a bit halfway back for like a day. It wasn't just that I had to acknowledge that I'm not done as much as I think I have to warrant to start questioning whether or not I should be yielding results. It was a thing that I said to myself, and I remember I said this to you. I'd said that I need to get to a point. I need to make sure that when I'm doing what I'm doing, I don't get attached to the outcome. It has to be that I'm doing the best that I can, and either something's going to come from it or something isn't. But if I'm attached to the outcome in a sense of like, I'm going to go do this because I think this result's going to come from it. If I'm like dependent on that, and I'm hoping on that, because the truth is I don't know. It's just a case of I've got a hunch and I'm going and I'm kind of feeling my way through it, and I'm doing whatever I can. And it's a case of if I can look back, if I don't succeed, if I can look back and say I've tried every single thing that I can and it didn't work, it is a case of then it clearly cannot be done. But if I don't try everything and at the end of it I flop, it's always going to be a case of, well, you didn't do everything you could, you didn't try hard enough. So I have to say to myself, I have to be sort of almost, I have to accept the outcome, whatever it is, so long as I've tried, so long as I've done my utmost.
You get what you put in.
Exactly, yeah. And but the thing is, what I was doing yesterday was that I was becoming attached to the outcome way too much, to a point where that when the outcome didn't come the way I thought it was going to go, I then got into my feelings a bit. Yeah. And I was thinking, I started having this pity party of, yeah, but why? Yeah, but I'm doing this. Yeah, but I'm doing that. You should just
enjoy the process.
Exactly. So it's that thing. So, but so it's that. I think
enjoy the journey.
I think if you got to cool yourself on your
Beauty
BS.
in the struggle.
Beauty in the struggle. Enjoy the journey.
I think you've got to cool yourself on your bullshit at least once every now and then in the most blunt way. Oh, actually, that's a good title. You have to call yourself on your bullshit.
I gave her inspiration for that with what I said, and then what she said was much better than what I said. So definitely use that.
Yeah, but that's the lyric that I was talking about.
Beauty in the struggle. Love it.
That's good. You probably will know. It'll probably be a background thing that you know.
What are you going to do? You put it on after this podcast. I'm going to show me it because I know it.
No, it is that good.
All right, amazing.
Peace.